Hello, everybody. Welcome to Umineko. We're in episode 5. And as always, I'm joined by Kid Tegasira.
Hi. I'm kind of surprised that my Zippo didn't pop up on my mic there. It usually does. For some reason, this time it didn't.
Yeah, fair enough.
So how have you been since we streamed last, which was last Monday, I think, right?
Yeah, last Monday. Yep, we skipped Friday, or Thursday, rather, because things.
Yeah, what happened there for anyone who's not, like, in the Discord or what have you? I don't remember if I actually fucking said anything in the Discord, but I was really tired that day. So, like, an hour and a half before we, like, the live time, which is 1600 my time, or 4 p.m.
Hello, Quinn.
Hi, Quinn. My housemate just decided that we were going shopping that day, and it was already probably, like, the worst day for my legs that I'd had in probably over a year.
Yeah.
So, like, I got back at, like, fucking, I think it was, like, 7 o'clock. It's, like, 1900 my time. And I was sitting in my chair just going, I might die. I might die today.
Yeah.
So,
and then
there was never going to be a stream that day.
Yeah, and then we thought about Friday, but you correctly guessed that you would not be up for Friday.
Mm-hmm. It's like, today's already going to be a short one because, like, it's taking me a while to claw my way back to being able to do anything after what was it, the 4 days of 40-degree plus temperatures. Ugh. I'd be back already if my housemate hadn't dragged me out to do the shopping on that day, but nope.
Oof.
Not right now.
So
Hi, Phoenix. Hi, fat boy.
Things I've been
don't
up
get in
to.
my lap.
You
don't know how to sit still, fat boy. Get out of here.
I have been playing a survival game called I Am Future. It's it's one of those basically single player survival games.
Which is way better than the forced server shit.
Oh yeah, having to do with server thing. Absolutely. Because you know what the player base is going to do is they're going to figure out how to make private servers so they can play by themselves.
Yeah, like, the thing that I've always wanted out of, like, all even the really cool ones, all the fucking server-based ones was just to play with my friends, like 3 other people at a time. That's all I've ever wanted. That's it. I don't want to play with, like, randos. Fuck you.
Yeah, because I don't want someone to ruin my fun. But basic premise is you wake up from a cryo sleep and all the humans are gone. You have robot companions instead, which are let's see here. The first one you meet is a fridge. The other one you meet is one of those, like, fortune teller machines that you...
I think I may have heard of this one.
And another one is... Actually, I don't know what she was. She might be like a record player or something. But whatever the case, they're actually... they're people whose minds have been put into electronics.
It's like the ye old Halo-style AI.
Yeah, basically. And, that's just a living for them, honestly. Like...
That sucks. Okay, look. We're doing our chill and let people, like, filter in bit right now, okay?
Yeah, we're letting people filter in. But basically, it's a very cozy game. You do still have to worry about these little, like, leeches or caterpillar things. They can injure you a little bit, but mainly they just eat your crops.
Fair enough. I feel like I've heard of this before. Like, I wonder if Splattercat did a thing on it.
Maybe. But yeah,
he's super into fucking, like, survival games. So
yeah, it's a very cozy. It's admittedly in early access right now, but it's got a very good gameplay loop and like a ramping up in things. You can get to solar energy.
That's good.
You can set it up so uh, all of your crop places can, like your garden plots can basically grow at all times. There's no nighttime period or daytime period if it's something like mushrooms that grow at night.
Right on.
And then, other than that, I have been, because I got a new therapist, they turned me onto a self care app called Finch. And what it is you take care of yourself, and by result, take care of this little penguin that you design and name. And it's very cute.
Okay. So here you go. Have a pet rock. Learn how to take care of yourself by taking care of this thing.
Yeah, but it does give you suggestions for goals. It gives you some positive reinforcement for repeating things. You can give your penguin a pet and hatch the egg of the pet by completing one of your daily tasks 7 times in a row. And it just has a lot of good reinforcement while not trying to milk you for money. Like, you can support them and get a few extra breathing exercises and stretching exercises, but otherwise they don't ask for any monetization. And it is
That's
just
good, I think.
Yeah, they just have a $10 a month subscription service, and it doesn't ask you for it doesn't gate you off from a lot. And then the other thing is you can send little things to little motivational things to your friends, and that's been pretty good. I've been doing that with Cosmos community a lot.
Right on.
And
Anything else? Oh, yeah, it has been a week.
I think that's about it. I did complete Suicide Squad Isekai. I don't think I mentioned that last stream. That's been good.
I don't think you did either. No. But I just got a flash flood warning in the desert, so that's fun.
That is
But
very.
that also makes sense because it's been raining for like 10 hours. It rained for like 10 hours a day.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like 18 degrees in my office right now. I am thoroughly enjoying this. That's in Celsius, by the way. It's not 18 degrees Fahrenheit. It's like even that, even for me would be too low. It is very bad at holding water. It's so bad at holding water, in fact, that whenever it rains particularly hard from a certain direction, Phoenix, I swear to fuck, dude, I'm gonna yeet you into the sun. Oh my gods. He just jumped through the armrest, mid sentence, and dug his claws into my thigh. You sack of fuck.
But if it rains
You're
particularly
very handsome.
hard in a particular direction,
it leaks through my wall.
Oof.
So it smells funny in here right now. And I gotta wait until it dries. I can fucking mop properly.
Yeah.
Sort of ridiculous. Like, last year it rained so much on like one day that my entire office was flooded. Just like the entire, like even the little carpet over here in the corner was sopping wet. It was unfun.
Yeah, I remember. Granted, it wasn't in the desert, but at my grandfather's house, we had a issue when it rained where we would get flooding in the basement there, and it was fully carpeted down there.
Oh no.
So
that's not good.
Little Babby Slime me had to go ahead and use a rug scrubber to just try and suck up the water.
Fuck that. Yeah, because I only have the corner in here carpeted, and specifically so I don't have to have my shoes on at all times because the rest of it's fucking concrete. And then Phoenix, the fat fuck, knocked my previous kettle off of my fridge bit there, and that kettle was glass.
Oh,
So I woke up one day to a very loud popping sound, and looked over, and there was just glass all over my floor. So I had to rip up that section of the carpet.
sucks.
Yeah, it's your fault, you fat fucker. You're the one that knocked it off. That was an expensive kettle too.
But yeah, Suicide
Shut up.
Squad Isekai was actually very good. You wouldn't think so by going by those two properties, because even though I do like Harley Quinn for her heroic side as a character, Suicide Squad hasn't been a great property, uh, at least as far as definitely not for the live action movies.
I don't think I've watched or read a single Suicide Squad thing like ever.
The only thing I will give the Suicide Squad live action movies is it's a DC movie that's actually trying to have fun, where all the other ones are very Christopher Nolan dour things. And that doesn't fit anything other than some Batman stories, and not even all of those. Like, Superman should not be overly dour.
You were not allowed to have the painkiller I just dropped, Phoenix. Fuck off. Get out of the way.
So,
Why are you so pushy today?
what have you been up to this week, other than recovering?
Honestly, not a lot other than recovery. I'm pretty sure I've been doing stuff, but I don't remember it.
You have been working on that yokai story.
Yeah, like I haven't gotten very far with them either. So to fill people in, since they're not like I didn't actually post much about this in the Discord. Uh, I posted a little bit, but no one like replied at all, so I stopped talking about it. Uh, I decided that I wanted to make another yokai or Shinto deity or something like that because, like that, I like that stuff. I like fucking around with mythology and so on and so forth. And the only Shinto deity that I have is the Wandering God. And I made the Wandering God on a whim because of Cataclysm DDA. One of the mods that I had a I don't remember what the fuck the actual like profession was called, but the description was something like that people theorized or it was rumored that you were a wandering Shinto deity and all that shit. It's just like, okay, that's kind of cool. I like that a lot.
Ooh,
So I
that's very neat.
yeah, so I made one. I made one that was exactly that. That was just like a wandering Shinto deity that somehow made their way to New England.
Yeah, which I mean, it's fucking cool. I didn't know that was the origin of the Wandering God.
Mm-hmm. Uh, Brain. And so I eventually made up a version of the Wandering God to play in Cinderfall because that's like the one post-apocalyptic setting that we all have. Not that Trig has deigned to run that particular campaign yet, but one day I'll convince him to do it. To be fair, like the only reason he hasn't is because he's afraid that he can't do that story right because the Wandering God Cinderfall has a gestalt, like a psychic gestalt consciousness of the entire world, right? Uh, and it is so powerful that it can actually like create deities, like actual divine creatures and all that shit. And the Wandering God is such that they were retroactively inserted to history because the supernatural wasn't a thing until it was activated by some scientist poking the eldritch thing that must not be poked, sort of shit. And that's what also caused the apocalypse in the first place.
Yep.
This is some deep lore for Cinderfall because most people, like, even most players don't know this. Nate doesn't know this either, actually, now that I think about it. But there's an AI called Legacy. It's like a base, sort of like a anti-nuke AI.
Ah.
When the psychic gestalt was like created by them poking, like the scientists poking around, because of people's belief that the Yellowstone Park is going to like explode soon because it's overdue or whatever people could say, which it's not. It really isn't. It's not due in huge quotes for another like 100,000 years or so, but because people think that it is, the psychic gestalt made it happen. And because the scientists who were making Legacy knew that it was not actually going to happen anytime soon. They did not code for like volcanic eruptions in North America. So Legacy detected the supervolcano going off as a nuclear attack, but it couldn't trace the attack to anywhere. So it just launched everything at everyone. Huge fuckery going on there.
Extremely huge fuckery, and I wouldn't put it past anybody doing any of these things.
Yeah. So I want to make a new Shinto deity to like round out a pair or a set or something like that, because like I don't get to work much with the Wandering God because I haven't been able to play the Wandering God in the setting that they're supposed to be in.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make a couple new ones, and I couldn't decide between a Ryujin and a Kitsune. So I just decided to make Molth eventually.
Yeah, you know.
But I haven't gotten any further, anything past that.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah, the Por qué no los dos. I'm getting better at saying that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to like say it like, properly. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, but at least
As long as you're not fucking like butchering it, I think it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not butchering it anymore. Is the
like,
point.
Even when I don't say it like with a proper accent, right? Like,
yeah, of course not. But yeah, you know, it's just I don't want to be the war criminal that says taco.
Oh gods, yeah. Kryle's voice actor, tacos. Oh no.
Yeah. But that's a thing that the English fucking do, so it's not off base, but it's just fucking war criminal, man.
That hurts me. That hurts me deep in my soul, hearing it as taco.
Yes.
Like, it's fine to say it. Taco yaki. Oh no.
All right.
Like, it's fine to say it like with like according to your accent. It's just try to get at least somewhat close, right?
Yeah.
Just say taco. You don't have to go full on the fucking like rolling the R's for burrito or anything like that. It's fine. As long as you're not saying burrito or something. I don't know. Oh god, Captioner actually got that. That means someone says it like that.
Oh no. Oh no. Alright.
That's painful.
So, yeah, well, I think that's about enough time for folks to filter in.
Yeah. Before I actually start this narration, today is going to be a relatively short one because I'm still trying to like claw my way back to
4-ish hours or so. We'll see how it turns out.
Because on Monday, like last Monday, we did a 6-hour one, and I passed the fuck out like an hour or so after we stopped and fucked up my sleep schedule. So,
Takoyaki.
Yeah, probably.
Oh god, Captioner got that.
Oh gods, it did. That means someone does say it that way.
That hurts the soul.
Yeah, that hurts the soul. The part that like I really have issues with in with Japanese is pronouncing the short e as a long e in English, saying a instead of e. That's like the one pronunciation issue I have with Japanese all the time.
Maybe not. We don't exactly know that much about text parsing. But I would assume if it's getting it correct, it had to be trained to recognize what those syllables mean in letters.
Yeah, karaoke. Like, That's not how you're supposed to say it. It's karaoke. But like, at least American English does that shit with like, with Romance languages too, like Ouija board. Which that's not at all how those two words are pronounced. It's Ouija.
Yes. Kara. Okay.
I could talk about language for like literal hours.
Yeah, we absolutely could.
I'm too much of a nerd for this. Right. I don't remember what she's trying to fucking
She is
resurrect here.
She's resurrecting Kinzo in front of everybody.
Oh right, yeah, that's this scene. Okay. Sorry, chicken burrito bar. Come, try to remember. What form did you have? What sort of life did you enjoy?
Once again, a
I
storm.
drew a very specific kind of villain properly, and it's not Beato's kind of villain.
Yeah. Once again, a storm of gold butterflies started to swirl, covering Kinzo's cold body. It is very kind sounding, actually.
I think that's sort of the point of it, right?
Yeah. Then after the butterflies exploded into fine gold powder and disappeared. Just like those fairy tales that have been told over and over since long ago, Kinzo slowly opened his eyes and sat up.
Father. Yes. I could not imagine calling the person, like the parents of the person I married, like father or mother or anything like that. I can't.
Yeah, though admittedly,
I could not do it.
It's a cultural thing. You never really grew up in a culture that does that.
Yeah, like I know that it's a cultural thing. It blows my mind, sort of thing.
Yeah, that there's such this divide and difference. Natsuhi, let me first make one thing clear.
Especially like presuming that you met the parents before you got married, right? Like you normally would, and you would call them by their names or their surname or whatever, depending on culture before that. So like having to swap over afterwards, that would be so fucking weird.
Yeah. Did not coax you into doing this because I have an attachment to life. You liar. Don't tell me you didn't anticipate this at least a little. How does it feel, Kinzo? How is your body? It isn't bad, but it feels somewhat like being in a dream. I feel light.
I just had to like fucking take a sip when my turn came around up.
Yeah.
A being not permitted to remain in this world still remains here. You'll have to accept a little discomfort. It's interesting. Is your body truly alright? Are you really alright?
Actually, this feels quite pleasant. If this is what the world after death feels like, playing the part of a ghost might not be so bad. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that actually is the case. Like, well, yeah, her parent-in-law, father-in-law.
Yeah, in-laws, not step, but yeah.
I think that was more or less explicitly said at one point.
Yes,
so I think you're absolutely correct on that.
She essentially had to give up her family to be part of this one.
Yeah, Kinzo's wife is a known entity.
And may not have been alive when Kraus got married. We actually don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, when did his wife die? I know her death was talked about, but I don't remember, like,
Yeah, I don't remember
when they said it was,
yeah,
right?
I don't know chronologically. And that's why she killed everyone. The new girl was so smart. Yeah, we haven't gotten a name
How is
on
this,
her yet.
Natsuki?
金蔵はよみがえった。
Kinzo has revived.
故に葬儀は不要。
That means a funeral is unnecessary.
そなたの苦難はこれにて解決だ。
Your hardship has been resolved.
Halfway resolved. Now we need him to fix the finances. Because Kraus is the biggest sucker to ever sucker.
Phoenix?
ベアトリーチェ。
And there's one born every minute
Yep.
for Kraus's type.
As Natsuki tried to find words of gratitude, Beatrice waggled her index finger and spoke.
感謝の言葉はいらぬぞ。
There's no need for thanks.
支配者は傲慢であればよい。
A ruler should be proud.
Oh,
は頼みは聞かぬ
that
が
doesn't surprise me,
命
Queen.
令には従うのでな。
There have been so many memes about Kraus and
Yeah,
crypto.
like Kraus. I think we said this last time. Actually, Kraus is absolutely the sober motherfucker that turned into a tech bro in the modern day.
Oh, absolutely.
Who
Oh,
would have
yeah.
loved dumping all your money into apes? I feel like he also buys like 20 lottery tickets at the gas station whenever he stops.
It's not YouTube chat, it's actually the chat between our two different streams. So it's both on Twitch.
Because Mel is also streaming on their end, which I keep getting like pop-ups whenever I go to do these streams about like streaming together with you and everything. And like we need to actually look into that and what it would do
Yeah.
at some point. I just keep forgetting to bring it up.
Yeah, that is a
Because I
good
only
question.
remember that it's a thing when I go to like load the page, and I was just like, okay, well, get on my way. I'm about to stream like in 5 minutes. I don't need you here right now. I'll do something about you later, and then I forget again.
Yeah, we'll test that stuff over the weekend or something.
Presuming that we remember.
Presumingly remember.
Because there's a solid chance that we won't. Anyway, I do not pay heed to requests, but I do follow orders. See, I'm the exact opposite. Hey, so.
Yeah, that's true. He doesn't actually seem to care about that as much. He cares about a little bit, but truly just like, you know, he bought into the amusement
Clearly
park
just
thing.
for like just for show, right? At least on Cross's end.
Oh, and yeah, inherited his Fists of Fury.
Yeah, episode 4 absolutely is a fucking fever dream.
それでも言います。
Especially that bit with fucking like Virgilia and Kraus. Gods.
Yeah, that whole bit with loser flags is like, okay.
Absolutely fucking ridiculous. I'll say it even so. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Gokun. Just poor fucker had all the loser flags at once.
これで主人のために時間が稼げます。
Sorry, inhaler bit there because like the humidity is making it a little bit hard to breathe. And I don't have any allergy meds right now because I'm a fucking dweeb that didn't buy any on Thursday. I forgot because I was in too much pain. So, Mal, you know how like awful my housemate is. The pain on Thursday was so bad that even they admitted that I needed a scooter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I could not remember shit yet that day.
Yeah, that's fair.
All even now, like everything from that day is just like a blur in my head.
Fair.
Yeah, City, my housemate's the kind of person that when they didn't need their cane anymore, instead of giving it to me, they gave it to some random stranger.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Knowing full well that I can't afford to buy one. Like a total dickhead. Anyway, this way, you bought some time from my husband.
あとは
I expected to say it's like me and my husband for some reason. I don't know why. We will handle the rest.
しかし夏日心せよ
I feel like I sound a little like stuffed up today. Do I?
Maybe a little bit, but it's hard to tell.
Which is weird because like my nose is fine. It's my throat that's bothering me. Anyway, be warned, Nazi.
確かに金蔵は蘇ったがそれは永遠ではない
Kinzo may have revived, but that is not an eternal thing.
我が魔力が続く限りである
It will only continue as long as my magic does.
半魔法の毒素により魔法は破られてしまうかもしれぬことを心せよ
Be warned that the anti-magic toxin might destroy the magic.
魔法の断りを正しく理解しその維持に努めよ
You must understand the laws of magic correctly and work hard to maintain them.
わらわはそなたに奇跡を見せるがそれをつかみとどめるのは
That is a great fucking line.
Yes, I love that.
I can show you a miracle, but it is your role to grasp it and hold it together. All right, hold on a second.
Yeah, that's actually a very good one. There's
Write that down.
there's honestly some killer lines in this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My my notes files has grown by like probably 20 or 30% just from this.
Yeah, just from doing up from episode 1 to episode 5.
There we go.
無論ですあなたにもらったこの奇跡を私たちは決しておろそかにしません
Of course, we won't neglect the miracle you have given us.
それでよいなるほどな主と畳は新しい方がいいというのは本当らしい
Very rude and very like Beato.
Yes.
Very good. I see. It seems masters do need to be changed every once in a while, just like floor mats.
気に入った
I like it.
わらわはそなたに使えようぞ
I shall serve you.
Excellent.
後ろ見
Why did you capitalize that, Captioner?
Yeah, that's a weird capitalization thing.
我こそは後ろ宮家顧問錬金術師黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ
Ushirimia Nazi. I'm the Ushirimia family alchemist, the golden witch Beatrice. Ban 32. Okay, sure, Captioner.
There's a song by that name. So maybe.
Maybe.
いつでも我が名を呼ぶがいいさすれば現れわらわはそなたに奇跡を授けるであろう
Call my name whenever you wish. I shall then appear and grant you a miracle.
ありがとう私は後ろ宮夏日
She absolutely is. City.
Yeah, yeah.
あなたを刺激し、後宮家の名誉を守ります。
Thank you. I am Ushiromiya Natsuhi. I will employ you to protect the honor of the Ushiromiya family. Hello, Edwards. Welcome on in.
Excellent Bedwards. And yeah, it doesn't surprise me you passed out last week.
Yeah.
Oh, the family conference of last year. Okay.
Fascinating.
Because you did end stream rather abruptly. Because you had to.
Yeah. I didn't think I was gonna like pass out though. Like I thought I was gonna like sit here and stare at the fucking wall for an hour or so before like snapping back too, right? But no, I sat down on the bed for a couple minutes, or what I thought was going to be a couple minutes, and then like 4 hours later, I woke up so fully dressed and went, "Oh fuck!"
Fair.
I even still had my headphones on.
The rose garden was truly splendid this year. The roses were blooming like crazy as though they were competing with each other. Does that mean some nutrients were buried in the rose garden recently?
Potentially.
In that rose garden, Kinzo, Kanon, and Natsuhi could be seen.
Like, I just want the fucking, like, the house itself to come alive, right? Turn into a predatory place, like the walls to fucking give a bloody rictus grin.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just let the whole thing become a horror show.
So I just... I know it's very on brand for me, but I just want to see some dead bodies.
Yeah. It's niche, so I understand why the place that Ryukishi visited and it's partially based on doesn't lean into it, but I do want to visit there if I ever visit Japan. Once again, the flowers have grown wonderfully this year. It must be the result of your care.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
今年は気候が良かったもので。
The weather just happened to be good this year.
Oh, very nice, Bedwards. Because, yeah, there's a place that the guest house is based on that has very Western style accommodations and looks very nice.
普段にも増して庭園が美しく保たれていますね。
Thanks to your care, the garden is even more beautiful than usual.
見事です。
Good work.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
今日という日でさえなかったなら、バラをめでながら紅茶を楽しむこともできただろうに。
If today weren't so special, we might have been able to admire the roses while enjoying some black tea. Kinzo shrugged. Today was the family conference. When it came to the other siblings' businesses, they hadn't heard anything good. On the contrary, the siblings probably planned to turn the conversation to the topic of Kinzo's remaining life, and hold a quiet feud over the inheritance. Oh, interesting. So, all the backgrounds that relate to Earth are photograph referenced. People have found the actual places, and
I'm not surprised.
the place with the epitaph portrait, instead of a portrait, it's just the front door. Those people are quite unpleasant.
I kind of find I find it kind of interesting how Japan versus like Japanese versus English swaps like the because we specifically call it green tea, but when we're talking about black tea, we just say tea for the most part, unless we're being like hyper specific. I
Yeah,
find it interesting that it's the opposite in Japanese.
which makes total sense.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was just moving on.
All right, well, fair enough. Go ahead then.
By the way, what about Kraus?
例の借金返済の計画は無事に進んでいるのか
Is that debt repayment plan of his proceeding well?
確かに現実性のある計画のようです。
It really does seem to be a realistic plan.
ただ計画の規模がだいぶ大きいようで、なかなか思い通りに結実しないようです。
However, the scale of the plan appears to be quite large, and it does seem to be bearing fruit as well as he expected.
So, when you were living with a host family in Japan, they said breakfast was served with orange juice and dinner with green tea. What this meant was that breakfast was served with orange juice and green tea. That's how ubiquitous it is.
Yeah, fair enough. So it's like coffee here in the States.
可能ならば今日の親族会議を迎える前に何とかしたかったものだな
I wish tea was more fucking popular here in the States. And I don't mean like southern style like iced tea either. It's like I grew up with that. that's like something that you drink in the afternoon when it's too hot to do anything else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tea itself being more popular in the States would mean that it would be cheaper. And I wouldn't be spending like $3.50 per box.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the cheap shit. So
Like, yeah, and it's basically the opposite problem in some places in, like, the UK, where they have a hard time getting quality coffee.
I don't think it's difficult to get quality tea here. It's just really expensive.
Yeah. And yeah, Gwyn had that trip to England, which is part of why they haven't been on stream the past couple times. But yeah, it looked like it was a lovely time.
Like the various breakfast teas from the British Isles are fine, but I very much prefer like chai instead.
Absolutely same. If possible, I'd hope that something could be done before today's family conference.
はい、申し訳ございません。
Yes, my apologies.
良いのか、金蔵。
Damn it, Banzo. Are you sure that's all right, Kinzo?
そんなところをのんびり散歩しておって。
Casually walking around a place like that.
How had she gotten up there? Well, it's pretty pointless to wonder about that sort of thing when you're dealing with a witch. Yeah, just, fucking magic.
If this was a comedy, someone would point out the fact that it's the upper skirt.
Yeah. Hell, if this was episode 1 or 2 Battler, he'd make a comment like that.
Mm-hmm.
Beatrice.
Although it seems like we're seeing the past specifically because most of this round is already done. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. She's probably got 8 layers of petticoats under there. Beatrice was casually sitting on the roof of the arbor, almost as though she had been basking in the sun.
半魔法の毒素の塊である親族どもが押しかけてくるのだぞ。
Those relatives are like a massive lump of the anti-magic toxin, and they'll be intruding on us.
立ち合わせになったら、そなたの魂など一瞬で蒸発してしまうぞ。
If you bump into them, your soul will evaporate in an instant.
すでに死んだ身だ蒸発もまた小気味が良いというもの
I am already dead. Even evaporating would be no detriment.
God damn it, Kizo, keep talking so I can, like, eat this fucking piece of candy, you bastard.
どうか後宮家のためにもうしばらくお力をお貸しください。
We can't have that happen. Please, for the sake of the Ushiromiya family, lend us your strength just a little longer.
夏日、親族どもの乗った船がこちらへ向かったようだぞ。
Natsuhi, it seems that the boat with the relatives on it has left the harbor.
そろそろ散歩は終わりにした方がよかろうな。
It might be a good idea to end your walk soon.
そうですか。ありがとう。お父様は書斎へお戻りください。
Is that so? Thank you. Please return to the study, father.
やれやれ、この絶好の日和なのにな。残念だ。
Just great. Shame that I must go back when the weather is so perfect. You know, fuck you, Kinto, but also I do understand that vibe.
愚痴るな、金蔵。今のそなたはわらわに生かされているだけの幽霊であろうが。
Don't grumble, Kinzo. Right now, you're nothing more than a ghost I gave life to.
そなたに毒素で消し飛ばれては、わらわも夏日も困るのでな。
It'll be troublesome for both me and Natsuhi if you're scattered away by the toxin.
おとなしく書斎へ閉じこもり。
Damn it, Natsuhi is not Nazi. Fucker. Just be a good boy, shut yourself away in the study, and put a blanket over yourself or something.
死してなおバラをめでる機会を与えられただけでも幸運とするほかないな。
Just being given the chance to enjoy the roses even after death makes me extremely fortunate.
わかった。
I understand.
書斎へ戻ろう。
So, because Beato guarantees the life or death status of Kinzo as being the same throughout all of the rounds at the start of the game,
Mhm.
does that mean that this is before each of the rounds? And this is like the backstory of like the previous year every time?
I guess so, yeah.
If that is the case, that lends so much more credence to the idea that there are multiple killers.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because Kinzo isn't around to give orders to kill people. I shall return to the study.
だが紅茶はもらいたい。
But I would like some black tea.
カノン、源氏に紅茶を届けるように伝えよ。
Canon, tell Genji to bring me some.
今日はマルコ・ポーロでももらおう。
Some Marco Polo would be nice today. Never heard of that tea.
Neither have I.
かしこまりました。
では解散しよう。
Then let's go our separate ways.
Oh god. Okay. It's a French tea from a company called Mariage Frères.
Oh,
I see why Ryukishi chose that one.
yeah.
私抜きで見事親族会議をこなしてみせよ。
Natsuhi, I want you to conduct the family conference splendidly without me.
もちろんです、お父様。彼らの前で名乗ることはできませんが、主人はすでに後宮家当主。
Of course, father. He can't say it in front of them, but my husband is already the Ushiromiya family head.
私もその妻として恥ずかしくない。
Oh,
微力を
fuck.
尽くします
That means what Kinzo said to Natsu in, what was it, the second loop? I think it was. Is actually like real. About her being like the only one worthy of being the head. Like,
Yeah, we're
having
worthy
her
of
having the like the dignity of like that one-winged eagle in her heart or whatever.
Yeah. That was episode 1, yeah. 'Cause
Oh, was that episode 1?
Yeah, because that's the one...
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
where she stuck around.
That's actually hilarious because like last time when the reveal was, or whenever the fucking reveal was made, that whichever stream it was, that he's been dead at the start of each of the games. Like I was like, okay, so how the fuck did he? What's going on here with that? Like how did Nazi get told that by him? But no, it's this shit right here.
Yeah.
And I will do all I can to see that I don't embarrass him as his wife.
Trust me, he's an embarrassment of a husband. You can't do much worse.
朝からいつを起こしているクラウスに比べ、夏日はなんと落ち着いたことか。
Compared to Kraus, who's had a stomach ache since this morning, you were so very composed, Natsuhi. Maybe. I'm not opposed to the idea that magic existed before the loops.
I mean, I think that was during the loop, right? That was in the middle of the game.
That's true, it was in the middle of the game. My son is quite hopeless. You got that right, but that's also your fault.
Mm-hmm.
主人にも主人の才能があります。その及ばぬところを支えて
Talented and fucking losing money, maybe.
Yeah.
Even I would do better as a businessman than he is.
Yeah. I mean,
Just saying, Nazi.
A lot of us would be better than the people who actually have money.
You know, like, I genuinely have no fucking, like, education at all. At the very least, I wouldn't be falling for, like, stupid schemes like this. Like, the kind of fraud that I would fall for is the shit that's actually well thought out. Like, fuck. My husband is talented in his own way. Supporting him where he's weak is my duty as his wife.
I mean, I would say the second part is kind of true. In that you are supposed to help your spouse, but also fuck Kraus.
Mm-hmm. Not like that.
Give it your best. I'll make sure to
He's too rich to be baby girl, and he's too pathetic to be like a boss.
Yeah.
So
I'll make sure to stay shut away so that I don't get in the way of this farce. Honestly, good for you, Kinzo. And also, good for you for not saying shut up.
Yeah.
カノン、お父様を書斎までお連れしなさい。
Kenan, go with father to the
そ
study,
れから源氏に紅茶の手配を。
and then have Genji serve some black soup.
肩を借りるほど猛録しておらぬわ。
I'm not so senile that I need your help to stand up.
I don't believe you.
Here I go. Yeah.
He groans half as much as I do, so that means you know he's old.
Yep. Refusing Kenneth's attempt to lend him a hand, Kinzo rose from the flower bed he had been sitting on.
Oh, you were just like sitting in the fuck on the ground. Okay.
That's actually fair.
In that case, you're groaning about a quarter as much as I do.
The retired head left everything in Nazi's hands and returned to the study at a gentle pace.
様になっているぞ。
Alright, you're gonna have to give me a second.
金沢の亡き妻にも似た貫禄があるな。
So I did actually stand up to like set the kettle, and then my left leg almost gave out on me. So just give me a minute.
Yeah, no, take your time. Yeah, I mean, I don't know when the board actually started. For all I know, the board itself started, 2 days, started at Kinzo's death. there's a lot of the metaphysics of the dual worlds that we haven't hammered down yet.
Yeah, which is what I was saying last time about how we don't really have enough information to actually like figure out like what the fuck is going on at all.
Yeah, at least not.
There's too many details that we just don't have.
Yeah, at least a lot of the mysteries are still up in the air. Like, I can narrow down who would be dressed as Beatrice by process of elimination.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's either Jessica, Shannon, or maybe Cannon. Those are the only people who'd pass as Beatrice from the portrait. Yes, absolutely. We'd love that if you did, Quinn. Yeah, it's just a matter of connecting the dots, and we don't have those connecting fibers yet that totally help us.
At the very least, I don't like have the information in my head, like genuinely, because it's I have a really bad memory now.
Yep.
If I'd like done this fucking like 8 years ago, sure, I'd probably have at least a little something, but
Yeah, honestly, probably one or both of us should have been taking notes. But that's a hindsight's 2020.
to be honest, I think there's enough information so far to be able to say that be able to tell a version of the story where magic was not involved at all, but I don't think there's enough to get the specific correct answer.
That's fair, yeah. And yeah, to be clear, it is hard. It took Quinn until mid-episode 7 to figure it out. And when you're ready, the line.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about like the mystery right now, like my current parameters for trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Gotcha.
Because right now I'm thinking, I don't know if this is correct or not, but I feel like a different killer is involved each time.
Yeah, like a different set of killers each time. Makes sense.
Even if it's the same killers, it's like someone makes a move first
Yeah.
in a different way, sort of thing, right?
Yeah,
Because of like minute differences in how like the situations play out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I am almost entirely convinced Curie was involved in episode 3. It's episode 3, right? With Ava Trishi.
Yes. That is episode 3.
Yeah. But Curie died in the died in episode 2 without being one of the culprits. Because it was confirmed in red that nobody at that dinner table was the killer. Episode 1, I don't think they ever established that it wasn't one of the 6. That one of the 6 wasn't involved in trying to kill the others and just got. But yeah, I would say there's a different... Yeah, episode 1 is weird because we don't have a lot of read about it, because we didn't go over it the same way we do with the others. And it took a while for red text to even become a thing in episode 2.
I still love the bomb drop of "you are incompetent."
Yes, that is absolutely excellent, and the way the manga does it, which I showed you, was excellent. And I'm willing to say that The how small were the bombs, though?
Tiny little nitroglycerin packets, just like tiny. It's really small.
Yes. And I'm willing to say, whatever kills everybody at the end has to be either a planned big thing, like, I don't know, disease or gas or a bomb of the larger variety.
You could not use disease for that. Disease is too unpredictable.
That's fair. But does Ryukishi know
Like,
that?
you can't even be guaranteed that one of the people on the island wouldn't be a carrier or wouldn't be immune.
That's fair. But like gas or something, or a natural disaster, like, you know, a fucking tsunami or an earthquake or something that takes everybody out, because it's something where even when Battler's alone, he still gets taken out. And I would have to assume it's something in a radius because of the episode 3 timeline.
Well, Ava could have survived because she was underground or in a shelter, right?
Yes, but she was in Kuadorian specifically. So that's what I mean by a radius.
There's also like a bunch of underground like shit there. So she could have been like just in a shelter and survived because of that.
Yeah, that's true. Though Battler's never been able to independently verify the underground route. Because he hasn't been able
Sucks to be that nerd.
Yeah. Hasn't been able to cut through the bars yet. Anyway.
You're looking well. You possess a sense of dignity similar to Kinzo's deceased wife.
万一お父様が半魔法の毒素にやられたら
On the off chance that the anti-magic toxin does get to father,
魔法は瞬時に溶けてしまうのですか
will the magic dissolve in an instant?
うん瞬くもだ
Yes, in the blink of an eye. I can simply erase my form if necessary.
すでに亡者の金蔵は姿を失えばたちまちのうちに太陽の風に吹き飛ばされ塵と消える
But if someone already dead, such as Kinzo, loses his form, he will be blown away by the winds of the sun and disappear like dust in a matter of seconds.
用心せよ
You must take care.
分かっています
Yes, I understand.
そなたには魔女の才能があるかもしれぬ
You might have talent as a witch.
な
Ugh.
半魔法の毒素をためにためて年を重ねたが
The anti-magic toxin has been building up in your system over the
そ
years.
れでもなおそなたは魔法を理解した
And yet you were still able to understand magic.
わらわとの出会いが幼少の頃であったならそなたは今頃偉大なる魔女だったかもしれぬ
If you and I had met during your youth, you might have become a powerful witch by now.
Natsutriche? Natsutriche real?
Manifest Natsutriche.
私は後宮クラウスの妻で当主夫人です名誉を守るためならば魔女にも鬼にもなりましょう
Manifest nutrition. Sure, Captioner. Thanks.
Sure.
I am Ushrumiya Kraus's wife, the head's wife. I would even become a witch or a demon to protect his honor.
あなたの魔法の力には深く感謝します
I am deeply grateful for the power of your magic.
後宮家の名誉はあなたの力なくして守れませんでした
I wouldn't have been able to protect the honor of the Ushrumiya family without you. Well, the fact that you're here at all means you were able to. Let's discuss that at another time.
Fair enough. Earlier, the captioner parsed whatever kills everyone as Robert kills everyone. And thus, a new culprit theory is born.
Yes, Robert.
その際はぜひ女同士二人きりでのんびり紅茶を楽しみたい
Like, there's not even a character named Robert. I like that. Yeah, just like a
Robert.
random person. I'd like to enjoy it with just the two of us. Two of us women drinking tea.
スリランカに行った友人がバラの香りの素敵な紅茶を送ってくれました。
A friend of mine who went to Sri Lanka sent me some black tea with a wonderful rose fragrance.
ほう、ディンブラか。
Oh, you mean Dimbala?
悪くない。
That isn't bad.
ならば、茶受けはパティスが良いぞ。
Then you should also have patties on the side.
この度の親族会議が無事にごまかし通せたなら、わらわへの褒美としてそれをぜひに振る舞え。
You actual child, Beato. You must serve me some as a reward if I manage to trick everyone for the whole upcoming family conference.
I love her.
Sadly, she does not love us. I'm pretty sure the only person she loves is fucking Battler. God damn it. Promise me now.
わかりました。約束しましょう。
Understood, I promise.
では、後ほど。
Then, I'll see you later.
後ほどな。
Later it is.
Which made her body crumble into the rustling wind, became gold flower petals and scattered into thin air.
Dude, if I was in the fucking position to be like a court mage or a house mage or something like that, a court sorcerer, I would absolutely wear a long draping cloak, and to disappear myself, I would pull the cloak over myself like I was pulling the fabric of reality over myself. Just whoop.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
That'd be such a dramatic shitbag about it.
Yeah, I would never leave a room in a normal fashion if I had the juice for it. Natsuki watched her go, then turned on her heels and headed for the mansion. After that, there was no one left in the rose garden.
さてと、ここでブレイクタイムね。
Alright then, it's break time. I need you to stop speaking random English.
No. They will not stop, cannot stop.
I know that you're not actually a 10-year-old, so I'm more than willing to stick my cigarette in your eye.
Jesus. Fair enough.
ここまでの展開だけど、なんか文句ある？
Any complaints about how things have gone so far? Yeah, like a whole truckload.
何もないわよ。おしっこしたいな。
None at all.
さっさと行ってくるわ。
If you gotta pee, why don't you just go into it?
Okay, Bernkastel. Alright, we will take a brief bio break.
Yeah, might as well, right?
Yeah. We will be back in just a
fucking
couple
Bernkastel
minutes.
is inviting us to, so fuck it, why not?
Yep, so be right back, folks. And since it isn't in the queue, Quinn had said, Kraus may not be a baby girl, but Rudolph is. And I 100% agree that Rudolph is Kiri's baby girl. And
I don't know, I think I have to be convinced that Rudolph is Kiri's baby girl.
But at least we can all agree on male wife Hideyoshi.
I mean, if Hideyoshi isn't a male wife, who is?
Absolutely. Anyway, thank you for the bio break suggestion, Bernkastel.
Except for maybe, what's this fuck from Way of the House Husband?
Oh yeah, him.
That dude is, quintessential fucking male wife.
Absolutely. And it's great.
I don't believe
きっ
let me
と
find his
い
name.
い草ね。金蔵はもう死んでるのよ。
What a rude thing to say. Kinzo is already dead, remember?
それがこうして歩き回って言葉を交わしてるじゃない。
Tatsu. That's it. Oh my god. The Japanese word for career woman is literally just career woman. I said with a Japanese accent, of course, but you know. But he's walking around and talking, isn't he?
それって魔法ってことにしちゃってもいいのかしら？
Doesn't that mean this is magic?
まあ、ベルにはこんな手今さら通用しないわよね。
Well, I doubt this move would work on you after all this time, Bern.
しかしあなたはどうかしら、バトラー。
But what about you, Battler?
This is fucking old hat for him at this point.
これっておかしいでしょ？
Isn't this weird?
金像を蘇らせた魔法の存在を認めざるを得ないんじゃない？
Don't you have to accept the existence of the magic that revived Kinzo?
Yeah, exactly. Old hat for Battler, ancient hat for Burn.
もしそれがベアとの真似のつもりならば、不愉快だから即刻やめろ。
If you're trying to imitate Beto, stop it right now, because it's pissing me off.
やっぱわかる？それでほらほら、バトラーどう答えてみせるわけ？
Figured it out? Then come on, how are you gonna answer, Battler?
こうして金像が闊歩していることを。
Kinzo was just out for a stroll.
いつものゲームみたいに頭を抱えて、こんなのわけわかんねえよって泣き言聞かせてよ。
Why don't you do what you usually do and start holding your head crying, this doesn't make any sense?
そして全然ダメだぜってお約束の口癖で、お得意のとんでもでぜひ反論を聞かせてよ。
Come on, use that old, it's no goddamn good at all catchphrase and let me hear your classic crazy counter-argument.
死んだはずの人間が歩き回れるわけないものね。
There's no way that a human who's supposed to be dead could be walking around, right?
That is the face of a man who's contemplating punting somebody shaped like a child.
集団妄想を見せる未知のウイルス、六軒島症候群の仕業とか。
It's all because of some unknown virus called the Rokenjima syndrome, which causes mass delusions. That could actually be real.
幻覚作用がとか。
Like, what the fuck was it?
Yeah, it's
Argot poisoning?
yeah, it's a Higurashi reference.
Alright, fair enough. But like, there actually is, like, there are ways to not force, but sort of convince people to have these same delusions. And it requires, like, certain chemicals and, like, certain kinds of poisoning, but it can be done. I don't think you could really do it on purpose. Like, it requires a perfect storm of events, but you could do it. Or do the scales of a mysterious form of butterfly that only lives on Rokenjima happen to be hallucinogenic?
I'd almost believe that one. If only because of the emphasis on the butterflies.
Yeah, like that one's wild enough, and there's enough butterflies going on here that's like, okay, maybe.
謎の秘密組織山犬が作った集団妄想を見せる未知の薬物、プルプルピコピオの仕業とか。
Okay, what the fuck is this one a reference to?
Yeah, Quinn, help.
Because I feel like I recognize this one.
Also Higurashi.
Also Higurashi? Okay.
Fair enough then.
That's probably why, because I did watch the fucking Higurashi anime like 15 or 16 years ago, whatever the fuck. So there's probably like some shit still lodged in my brain about it. I think I was in either freshman or sophomore year when I watched it.
Fair enough, yeah.
What year? 2007. Yeah, so I watched it like a year or two after it came out. Something like that. Yeah. Anyway, Or is it all because a mysterious secret organization called Yamainu made an as of yet undiscovered drug called whatever the fuck that is, which causes mass delusions?
Puro puro pico puyo.
素敵なとんでもいっぱい聞かせてよ
Let me hear tons of this wonderful crap.
うるさい、黙れ。こんなのは問題にもならない。
Just shut up, this isn't even a problem. Grandfather is dead at this point in time. There's no way he exists.
それを存在するかのように振る舞っているのは、
The only reason everything's behaving as though he actually
な
exists
んとかじい様の死を隠して、親族会議をごまかしきろうとする、夏日おばさんの嘘だからだ。
is because that's the lie that Aunt Natsuki is creating in an attempt to hide grandfather's death and trick her way through the family conferences.
夏日の嘘をつくと死者が蘇るの
I mean, no one the fuck else, except for the people that would be in on it, even know about it, so yeah. And at the very least, you can make it look like he's alive. It's Natsuhi's lie. You can revive the dead by lying.
それって夏日の魔法じゃないの
Wouldn't that make it Natsuhi's magic?
Yeah, you're no beta Lambdadelta.
この世界はブラウン管を除く前の世界。
This world is like a brown tube before you've looked at in it.
開く前の猫箱の世界だ。
It's the world of the cat box before you open it. And I know Umineko is one of the trendsetters, but still, take a drink anytime a
Yeah,
visual novel character brings
Which
up
is kinda-
the cat in the box.
because it's kind of interesting because Umineko actually uses it correctly. But, like, everything else doesn't.
Yeah.
It's like the instance of, like, everyone copying the isekai thing, but not actually examining why it worked for the ones that it did, the trendsetters, right? It was the same here.
Yep.
夏日おばさんがじい様と一緒に散歩したと語り、誰にもそれが嘘であることを確認できない限り、夏日おばさんがじい様とバラ庭園を散歩したことは、夏日おばさんの事実として提示できる。
As long as Aunt Natsuki says that she took a walk with grandfather, and as long as no one can confirm that that's a lie, it's possible to display Aunt Natsuki taking a walk in the rose garden with grandfather as Natsuki's reality.
だから、じい様が現れることができる。
That means it's possible for grandfather to appear.
Mm-hmm. And because the servants with the one-winged eagle crest all serve the head specifically, whatever she and Kraus say is the truth, they will be forced to go along with it.
Yep, they will say it's the truth. And that's why Goda isn't allowed to go in and see the Kinzo.
Because he doesn't have that kind of, like, loyalty/training.
Yeah, exactly. That, clap, clap, clap. That extremely unflattering applause was coming from Bernkastel.
ブラボー。あなた、ベアトがいないと冷静なのね。
Bravo, you're much calmer without Beato around.
うるさい。お前も黙れ。
Quiet, you shut up too.
お待ちなさいよバトラー。あんたのご考説によるなら夏日しかいない場所には金蔵が現れることは確かに可能かもしれない。
I should have pronounced that as Yamainu rather than Yomainu.
Yeah.
Because it's mountain dogs. Okay. Anyway, wait a second, Battler. According to your theory, sure, it might really be possible for Kinzo to appear if Natsuhi's the only person there.
夏日しかいない世界で夏日が金蔵を観測したと主張したなら誰にも否定はできないものね。
If Natsuhi claims to have observed Kinzo in a world with no one except Natsuhi in it, then no one can deny it, right?
Essentially.
でもあの場にはカノンがいや
At least until it's found out that he's been dead for a year. But Canon was in the same place, and he was also looking at Kinzo, right?
We already talked about that Lambdadelta, but okay.
それをどう説明する気なのよ。
How would you explain that?
全く問題ないな。
That's no problem at all.
カノン君は後宮家に雇われてる使用人だ。
Canon is a servant who works for the Ushiromiya family.
夏日おばさんにじい様の死を隠すために口裏を合わせるように命令されてるはずさ。
Aunt Natsuhi probably ordered him to keep to her story so that she can hide grandfather's death.
だから夏日おばさんと同じように存在しないはずのじい様を見ることができる。
This means that just like Aunt Natsuhi, Canon can see grandfather even though grandfather isn't supposed to exist.
I may not like the dual reality setup personally, at least in this instance, but I do like the core idea that magic is a shared delusion.
Yeah, I'm into that. I definitely cottoned on to the dual reality, the way Umineko uses it, way more than you did. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I just don't like it. I personally, I just don't like that. Although it is one way to interpret a veil,
Yeah, absolutely.
because I've seen that successfully work. But I think it's because it's being presented here as a delusion specifically that I don't like it, and not as the human mind just covering it up with something else.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, actually, I think it's because they're actively opposing each other rather than complementing each other
That's fair.
that I don't like it.
And maybe we'll get something more complimentary later, because, like, for instance, Anji and, Mammon can coexist. Despite her working to deny magic, at least in the way Beatrice does magic.
So, like, that is not actually like a criticism at all, just for people in the audience. That's not a criticism, that's just me stating my preference.
Yeah, it's a preference thing, not a quality thing.
Yeah. Because, like, it's done well, I just don't personally like it.
Yeah, it's just
Just like I don't like most rom-coms, you know? Like,
You know.
I'm just not into them.
that's just not how you would do a world building. But for here, like Ryukishi clearly had a specific idea of what he wanted to do.
For some reason, you saying that reminded me of Utada Hikaru having the honorifics of Miss as in mystery.
Yes, I love that
I-
for them.
I don't know why it reminded me of that, but gods, could they get even cooler?
Yeah, exactly. Like 100% Utada Hikaru. Like, I read the news, they're non-binary, and I go, yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense why I gushed over them.
And then, like, they say, just like, oh yeah, I like it to, I want to have my honorific be Miss, as in MYS. I'm just like, yeah!
Yeah,
How
fuck
can
yeah.
you get even fucking cooler? Holy shit! Okay, I was not wrong when I corrected myself to they. She uses they, she.
Oh, okay, so it is Daishi, so...
Yeah,
Fair
so both sets. Anyhow, too bad, Lambda. Battler isn't going to fall for that kind of child's play anymore.
そうみたいね。ま、こんなのゲーム前の前座よ。
Seems so. Well, this is nothing more than an opening before the game.
料理の前のアペリティフ。
Like an aperitif before a meal.
飲み屋の
I'm gonna, like, beat you with a fucking shoe.
寿司屋の緑茶
An appetizer at a bar, green tea at a sushi restaurant. I know they're just explaining what that word means for people in Japan who don't know what that word means, but damn it!
Shut up. So we aren't gonna get anywhere unless I say it again in blue text?
そうね。一応もらえる？
Looks like it. Would you mind?
I mean, yes, I would mind, but I also want to punch you.
Just let me go get the bug spray for this bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're just earnestly.
You know, like they're actively, purposefully annoying. It's like, come on, girls, just shut up, go away, stop.
Yeah, exactly. And same thing for Bernkastel basically acting like Battler's a bigger dummy than he already is made out to be by the plot. Like, actively insulting his intelligence.
G 様がすでに死んでいるにもかかわらず、何事もなかったかのように闊歩しているのは、
The reason Grandfather is strolling around like nothing happened even though he's already dead
G 様が生きていると思わせたい連中が生み出している幻想だからだ。
is that people who want to make it seem as though he's alive create an illusion of him.
同じ思惑を持つ人間たちは、その幻想を共有できる。
Everyone with the same intention can share in that illusion.
そして、あたかも G 様が存在し、ついさっきまで一緒だったかのように語る。
Then, they talk as though Grandfather actually exists and was with them until a second ago.
だから、さも当然のように闊歩しているんだ。
Yeah, exactly. Like what we were saying, this is also a neat explanation for Natsuhi and Kinto's... Oh, yeah, so yeah. This would be a good conversation, so rather than it being... the explanation being magic necessarily, it's that Natsuhi's the only one who had that conversation, or said that conversation happened. And she can say, that's what Kinzo said to her.
Yep. We have to take another break, though, while I go strangle my housemate for interrupting me, though.
Yeah, let me just finish this line. Then they talk as though Grandfather actually exists and was with them a second ago. That's why he's strolling around like it's perfectly natural. Alright, we're taking a break.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna go strangle someone real quick. Don't worry about it. I'll be fine.
Seeing magic side of things. Also, for the recording side, we're back. We're just chatting as we come back from break.
Yep, of course.
But yeah, basically, mutual definitions are important, and I discussed, like, how in a EULA they'll define
Yeah,
what
I was actually about to bring that up myself.
Yeah, we define...
Like, in legal documents, they bring up, like, they define these things before they get into the meat of stuff.
Yes, exactly. They define what and who a user is, and what and who the provider is, to give a definition to the things that don't already have a specific legal definition.
And they will also do this for like contracts and shit. It's like, you know, party A and party B, and then they'll define them by name and then say hereafter described as or referred to as party A or what have you, or contractor versus contractee or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things that internet arguments can run into, is just a mismatched definitions. Because when, say, a shitty billionaire talks about cancel culture, we roll our eyes. But if we talk about cancel culture in the terms of a teenage girl drew some fan art that you don't like, and then suddenly people are doxing and sending death threats, that's two different things.
Yeah, and like I feel like because of that, cancel culture itself is a useless phrase.
Yeah, exactly. It's one that isn't given a proper definition in the discourse, because they're treated as the same, when they're really, really not.
Yotte, 夏日おばさんに組みしていない人間の前に G 様の幻想が現れることはできない。
Because of this, the illusion of Grandfather is unable to appear in front of people who aren't in on this with Aunt Natsuhi.
だからこそ、書斎に閉じこもって出てこないという設定が必要になるんだ。
That's why they needed to set it up so that he would shut himself away in his study and not come out. In the games before now, Grandfather was always shut away in his study. We never met him directly, except that one time you did. But at that point,
Yeah.
your brain was breaking.
And you were also, like, very drunk.
Yes. And for all I know, like, I don't know when whatever happens. Like, did he just was he already dead at that point, and we just go, yeah, it's magic shit. However, there were some people who spoke in a way that made it seem like he was locked up in his study in a bad mood, and who claimed to have met him only a short while ago. We blindly accepted that and believed that Grandfather was in the study. That's why it was possible for an illusion of Grandfather to exist in the study. That's right, in the games before now, the only people who met Grandfather were Uncle Kraus, Aunt Natsuhi, and the servants. Because they all stuck to the same story. An illusion of Grandfather was able to exist on this island, making it seem like he was alive. Though you're also forgetting to say Nanjo's in on it, but I get it.
Yeah. Apparently Kurosawa is too.
Well, yeah, but that's why he said the servants, but Nanjo isn't a servant. You were even kind enough to show me a scene at the beginning of this game. About Natsuhi convincing Dr. Nanjo and the rest to cover up Grandfather's death. Yeah, there we go. I'm not gonna fall for this kind of cheap trick now.
Not bad, but I was hoping for the unknown drug this shit. I refuse. Ow. There's no way he'd say something so ridiculous, right? After all, supposing that such a thing exists would be just as bad as surrendering to the fantasy genre.
Not necessarily. You'd at least make the story sci-fi.
Yeah, but like a lot of people do consider fantasy and sci-fi to be the same thing, just a different subgenre of the two.
Fair enough. Granted, I would still like to see fucking Necron Beatrice.
You're not wrong. But I think rather than a Necron, a Beato would be like a Demon Prince.
That's fair.
And of course, Battler would be like an Inquisitor's agent. Still new to the jig, but like, you know, deeply intent on saying fuck you to all that shit.
Yeah, I could see that.
Whether it's a virus or a drug or an illness, anything that hasn't been discovered yet is in violation of Nox's fourth commandment. What?
Ten Commandments of Detective Fiction.
Okay. That would be why I don't know them, because I don't really, like, do detective fiction.
Yeah. Number 1. The criminal must be someone mentioned in the early part of the story, but must not be anyone whose thoughts the reader has been allowed to follow. All supernatural or preternatural agencies are ruled out as a matter of course. Not more than one secret room or passage is allowed. No hitherto undiscovered poisons may be used, nor any appliance which will need a long scientific explanation at the end. No Chinaman must figure in the story. I guess this is to avoid, like, racist shit, basically. Like, the racist, oh, the Chinese man did it.
I think it might be, since this is a rule set on detective stuff, that may actually, rather than racist shit, I think that may be more about like Chinese mysticism shit, right? Because like I'm sure when this like the set of commandments were written, that kind of thing was not very well known. At least in terms of like what it actually is, right?
Yeah, this is going all the way back to Dr. Fu Manchu.
I see.
Yeah, Noxus Fifth is basically everyone who writes mystery stories in the 40s put a bunch of cringe racist shit about Asians in their stories, so I'm making a rule to shut up. Which, fair. Noxus 6. No accident must ever help the detective, nor must he ever have an unaccountable intuition which proves to be right. 7. The detective must not himself commit the crime. 8. The detective must
I've
not...
seen that one be broken like very well.
Oh
though.
yeah. Like, sometimes rules are made to be broken, but...
Yeah, which is why I'm curious to like whether or not Ryukishi will completely follow this. Because if Ryukishi does follow every single commandment, then that means that we can rule out Natsuhi as a murderer. Weirdly enough. Because we've seen her thoughts.
Yeah, the detective must not light on any clues which are not instantly produced for the inspection of the reader. The stupid friend of the detective, the Watson, must not conceal any thoughts which pass through his mind. His intelligence must be slightly, but very slightly, below that of the average reader. Twin brothers and doubles generally must not appear unless we have been duly prepared for them.
You as in foreshadowed, yeah. You can't just like whip one of those out your ass and create a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, exactly. And tired. Umineko
I can
doesn't
already
reference
feel
the fifth
like what's going to
commandment
happen on the
because
next
it isn't
message,
written
Quinn.
in the context of British mystery novels. Hold on, I have to allow it.
Yeah, we have to allow that one.
Wired. Umineko doesn't reference the fifth commandment because Kinzo is the Chinaman.
No, that should not be allowed on the... No, whatever. Just that one instance should have been allowed, not the entire list. But whatever. That's fine. We'll just fucking yeet it the next time we see it.
Yeah, which I really doubt any random racist is going to come in here and say Chinaman.
Probably not, but, you know. Granted, I've been streaming for like 5 or 6 years, actually more than that, on this account, and I've never seen that even from a bot, so fuck it, you might actually not need to worry about it. I don't know.
Yeah, like, they moved on to different slurs. Was he born in Taiwan? I don't remember that being said, but that's an interesting tidbit if so. Ah, it was mentioned in passing. Yeah, that's why it slipped the old brain case.
I don't think 40s authors would make a distinction between Japan and China anyway.
That's fair, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I think I do remember that.
Oh, yeah, okay, so I just didn't parse that region was what eventually gets called Taiwan. But that makes sense. Because, yeah, they did say that's where he spent his youth, away from the main family. So, he never fucking had to deal with the main family politics until suddenly Earthquake happened, and he's put at the front of the list because he has an extra set of toes. And has no relation to any of the conflicting
Yay,
factions.
polydactyly.
Oh, now they're gonna explain it to us. What do you mean, fourth
Yeah, I
commandment?
figured they would after Quinn said that, so.
ノックス第40未知の薬物および難解な化学装置の使用を禁ず
Yeah, it always picks up polydactyly. Assuming that it actually picks up the word, like a word in the first place, it always picks up polydactyly rather than changing it into something else. My captioner often cuts out like half of my sentences anyway, no matter how well I project or how well I enunciate. So
Yeah, which is really weird to me, because you enunciate...
as you can see just there.
Yeah, you enunciate really well, and you're loud enough. But for some reason, Captioner's like, nope. Nope, not
I think it
gonna do
doesn't like my particular accent. Because most people don't actually like sanitize their accents these days, like I have.
I suppose.
殺人にこれを用いてはならないという規則よ
But this is what people are always talking about when they say that like, it's really easy for computers to do shit that like humans find very difficult, and very difficult for computers to do shit that that humans find very easy. Because there's a reason why my audience is from all over the world. It's because they find it very easy to understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, you use a very recognizable enunciation, and as long as they have some passing knowledge of English, they can usually pick it up.
Exactly. Yeah. Which that's actually I'm sure I fucking said this on screen before, but that's actually why I sanitize my accent. So I didn't start like clearing up my accent until I was in my late teens. Up until then, I just had a Texas drawl. But like when I decided like I want to start doing podcasts and everything, I was like, well, I want people to be able to understand me because I talk to people from all over the world, and so why not?
Yeah.
And then I actually started getting like viewers from all over the world, so I was like, okay, yeah, I better actually do that. It's kind of funny. My Canadian colleague thinks that I still sound Texan.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, like, I don't know why. I don't know why he thinks I still sound Texan, but apparently I know like very occasionally, like once every couple of months, a phrase that I say will have a slight drawl to it. And it'll for whatever reason be different from every other time I say that phrase. And it'll never happen again on that specific phrase.
Yeah, like, maybe, but it's one of those things, because, like, this isn't a bit for the stream. Like, I've talked to Kat just one-on-one.
Yeah. This is actually just my normal speaking voice. The only real difference is that I'm projecting more for the
Microphone,
for the
yeah.
camera, quote unquote. Because normally I'm much more subdued, right? I'm just playing it up. Actually, I'm
Not
even in
even
real life
playing
I'm more subdued. Like even in real life I'm more subdued than like one-on-one off-camera conversations. But again, that's because I've talked about this multiple times, I think, but you don't have the body language to help run off of when you're doing like audio only, like I am.
Yeah.
Even if I had like a VTuber model, it still could not capture my wild gesticulations, you know. Not to any real degree of accuracy, so it wouldn't help any.
Actually,
So you have to
surprisingly,
project a little more.
and I hate that it's this company that made a phone that can do it, but iPhone Generation 5 and onwards has built-in mocap, and actually works pretty well.
I do not think it would work very well for me because I keep my office very dim because my eyes are very sensitive to light.
Fair enough, that might be an issue.
I think like 2 years ago, I kept my actual overhead office light off for like 8 months straight.
Well then, yeah. So, maybe not for you, just given the lighting issue, but lighting issues aside, like, it's why so many VTubers swear by it. Because it is...
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is literally.
Yeah, I would have to get a fucking ring light or something like that, and, like fucking hammer it into the wall in the corner or something,
Yeah, exactly. Like,
which would fucking kill me.
yeah, like I'll probably get a ring light just in case when I do get a iPhone, because I'm just gonna get like an iPhone 5, get like, because I don't need the latest generation, I just need one that has that software and hardware built into it, and go from there. Because, yeah.
I actually have been thinking about commissioning Cappy for a PNG tuber.
Yes, absolutely.
Not anytime soon, of course, because I don't have the money, but like, in like a year or two, when I can also buy like a stream deck.
Speaking of, we shall shield the Cappies.
Yes. Copy link interest. There we go. Let's see. Cappy's Twitch is just that, but Twitch.tv instead. It's just Cappy Tech, spelled just like that.
Yes, Cappy Tech, wonderful artist, did my PNG tuber, the art that you see in the corner of my stream, as well as in the corner of Cat's stream.
Yeah, because like 2 months ago, Nate convinced me to keep the like PNG model up, or not the model, but the PNG like image up. Even during the Elden Ring streams. So like, and like, the more that I think about it, the more that I see it over there, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I actually could. maybe I might actually do it. I don't know.
Yeah. I honestly think it would be good, because it gives a little bit more life to the stream. Just to have
because like
any face to put to it.
Because I know, like, these days, the popular thing is to have a face cam or a PNG tuber or a VTuber or literally anything. But, like, when I was first getting into this, like, 10 years ago, oh god, it's been 10 years. What the fuck? It was still, like, fairly common to have no face cam or anything on at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, that came from
And
the
in
fact
fact,
that webcams were kind of shitty.
Yeah, of course, they're really shitty, and the models for VTubing were not very good yet. And in fact, the one time that I actually considered making because my name has been Contagious Era for like 10 years now, which is weird for me, because I used to change names like every 2 or 3 years. But because my name has been Cat for a very long time now, when I was first getting into it, I was talking to a fellow streamer friend at the time, anyway, and I was like, I'm considering actually getting a fucking model done, and like having like a furry fucking model, because at the time VTubing wasn't a thing yet, right? It was just like, it was only for furries, basically.
Yeah.
I was considering doing that, and he was just like, "Nah, you shouldn't do that. Like, the viewers will hate it." It's just like, "Oh, if they hate it, then they can fuck off. I don't care." If people have a problem with it, they can leave. They can go to someone else's stream. They don't have to go to mine. For fuck's sake.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't need literally every viewer on the planet. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to please anybody, no matter how hard you try.
Well, I'll please some people. It's just not everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can please some people, but you cannot please everyone. And trying to will just run you ragged.
Yeah.
Or
Which it's kind of fucked up, because like that dude was just like, "Oh, you're so negative all the time," after I said that. And I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean?
You're the one who was just a negative Nancy on my idea.
Yeah, like what are you talking about, man? What the fuck?
No, that's not negative. That's just real. Like, if you don't like something that I'm doing, there are so many other streamers, especially now. Like, VTubing's saturated. The only reason I'm doing it is because I want to share cool shit with other people.
Yeah, like, because I remember playing EverQuest 2, which I don't know if you know this about EverQuest 2, but it has a built-in like face cam for your character.
Really?
Like, if you you can turn it on and have your camera pointed at your face, so when you're talking to your friends over voice, over IP, or whatever the fuck, your character will actually speak as well, and make the same expressions as you. It takes a little bit of like tweaking to like get it right, depending on like your lighting situation. But
Interesting.
I thought that was really cool, so I was like, hey, maybe I should do that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like some early tech on that. And yeah, like that shit's cool. If I found the right communities, I'd be interested in getting into VR chat.
Actually, thinking more about fucking EverQuest 2. It was very funny. And this is completely irrelevant to what we were just talking about. Just it's only relevant because of EverQuest 2. But the range of your skills, as you might expect, does not change based on the size of your character or what race you have, right? Because that would break balance.
Right.
But I was playing like a fairy, like an actual, like a sprite kind of fairy. So I was like 1.5 feet tall, but I was swinging my sword and hitting dudes like 3 meters away because of it. Because they have to balance it to make it look to be okay for like larger races too.
Yeah.
So I think the range was like 2.5 or 3 meters or something like that, just like it is in fucking Final Fantasy 14, 2.5 yalms or whatever the fuck the word they use. But it means that like as this tiny little creature, my weapon absolutely, definitely was not actually reaching the enemy. It was very funny.
Yeah, at least with Lalafell, like the distance still works out. Usually.
Yeah, especially because like the animations that they use extend the weapon via like some aether fucking blader bullshit, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Or it'll be like 4 jumps, it'll like you'll jump directly to their origin point from your origin point.
Yeah, so it all looks okay. But for something like ye old EverQuest 2...
Yeah, it definitely did not do that. It was only an issue because I was playing a melee class, Shadow Knight, but you know. I just thought it was very funny.
Absolutely. Anyway.
Nox's 4th. It is forbidden for unknown drugs or obscure scientific devices to be used. It's a rule that these cannot be used for murder.
なんだそりゃ。未知の薬物 X。未知の化学装置 X は魔女と戦う上での一番の武器だろうが。
What? I don't know what...
That's because you didn't know you were a detective mystery yet, Battler. Now you do.
I don't know what world you've been living in, but unknown drug X and unknown scientific device X are the best kinds of weapons to use when fighting against a witch.
Yes, those. They all violate the rules of proper mystery stores. Supposing an unknown virus, an unknown drug, an unknown sickness, or an unknown X was used puts it totally in the fantasy genre. See,
I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Yes, I also disagree with that completely, but that might also be the true for writing a mystery, right? Because I don't usually write mysteries, so I don't really know what works and what doesn't. I don't usually read them very much either, because I prefer like political intrigue shit.
But yeah, I could see that to an extent. At the very least, it is not something the reader could be trusted to sort of figure out. Because you made it the fuck up.
Yeah, of course. And you need to have like your murder weapon and your murder suspect and all this stuff like foreshadowed. Excuse me. But assuming that Ryukishi is actually following these rules.
Oh yeah, and okay, so in Nox's original essay, he notes at the end that for every rule he writes, there are a dozen masterpieces that break it.
Yeah, I think this is one of those instances, like just like with anatomy with art, like to break it properly, you must first understand it.
Yeah, exactly.
And same thing, rules for composition and like paneling for comics and so on and so forth.
Exactly, and it will change over time. So, for example, the whole mystery twin thing worked when it was early on in that trope, but now it is really fucking stale.
Yeah, but like with stuff like that, that's when people were first starting to get like the idea of writing fiction, right?
Yeah.
Like, yes, you could point to like Gilgamesh, the Epic of Gilgamesh, as like, oh hey, yeah, but that's not true because we have Gilgamesh. Yes, but Gilgamesh is important specifically because it was the first and only for a long time. But like there was a boom of fiction in the 1800s, which is the real thing here. So most people did not actually understand how fiction worked because most plays were not fiction. They were fictionalized history, yes, but they were not actually fiction. Or they were stories from mythology, which people didn't actually believe were fiction either, and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But so if you go back and like actually read those, they're not very well written. Those original like 1800, like early 1800 stuff, they were not well written at all.
Yeah.
They were actually, in fact, kind of shitty. But people learned very quickly what worked and what didn't, right?
Yeah.
So, which is how we got fucking Bram Stoker at the end of the 19th century, rather. The end of the 1800s. But anyway, what I was going to say is that if Ryukishi actually is following these rules and is not going to break any of them, which he might break one of them, he might not, I don't know. But if he is actually following at least this specific rule, and other ones similar to it, where everything has been foreshadowed before you actually get the answer, and you're not allowed to actually suppose these unknown X things, then yes, maybe we actually do have enough information.
Yeah, I mean,
And like we just have to put it together.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we haven't connected the dots.
Because like considering this like a real life mystery, then the unknown X thing is obvious, right? Obviously, you're going to go for the unknown X thing because no investigator is so fucking in real life is so well versed in all the various sciences that they're going to be able to conjure the idea of a possible thing, right? That could be used as the murder weapon or the murder device or what have you.
Yeah, exactly. And Battler is just an 18-year-old fuckboy.
Emphasis on the boy. Because, like, he does not fuck.
I mean, fair. But fuckboys
He does
don't
not
fuck.
have the kids say, have the riz.
Fuckboys don't fuck. They're just a fuckboy.
Probably, yeah. I'm sorry, every time I hear the word fuckboy, the only thing that I can think of is that fucking meme that says Buenos Dias, fuckboy.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, that's specifically because I use it against Chico all the time.
Yes.
For those of you who aren't in the Discord, Chico is my Chilean friend. Like, I've known him for well over a decade now, and I give him a rash of shit every opportunity I get. And Buenos Dias, fuckboy is one of them. Anyway. My condolences. If that was your theory, then it's game over for you.
Fucking smug cat of a woman.
Sassy lost child.
Hey, what are you talking about? And see, this is what's happening, is Bernkastel, while acting like she's helping, is actually dismantling some of Battler's defenses.
Which may be a good thing in the long run, because it seems like these two witches specifically have changed the rules on him. Because originally he did not actually need to properly explain it in detail.
Yep, that's true.
He just had to put forward an argument that couldn't be denied.
Yeah. But now...
That's all he needed to do. But now they're like, you have to actually get it right, fucker. It's like, hold on, you're changing the rules on us here, bitch.
Which, I mean, I guess kind of fair in that Bernkastel wants this to end in an actual victory for Battler.
Mm-hmm.
And that requires him not to use the crutches that have been working on Beto.
Or at the very least, like, even if he doesn't have to get, like, exactly the correct answer, he has to get close enough that it can't be denied with the evidence already given.
Yeah.
You think you've been fighting in direct opposition to Beto, but that's not actually true. You haven't been in direct opposition.
ずれた角度で戦い合ってたの。
You've been fighting from a diagonal angle.
Subgenre, basically.
あなたがしてた推理ごっこはファンタジー対ミステリーじゃない。
All this plague detective you've done hasn't been fantasy versus
フ
mystery.
ァンタジー対アンチファンタジーでしかないのよ。
It's only been fantasy versus anti-fantasy,
何を言ってやがるのかさっぱりわからねえぜ。
which is what I was just saying. But they're changing the rules on him now.
Yep. I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
だが、一つだけわかることがある。
There's one thing I do get.
俺のこれまでの戦い方にケチをつけたいらしいってことだ。
Sounds like you're saying there's something wrong with the way I've been fighting.
私たちは魔女幻想というファンタジーを殺すために戦ってるのよ。
We are fighting to kill the fantasy known as the witch illusion.
それはつまりこの物語を正式なミステリーで解釈するということ。
That means interpreting this tale as a proper mystery.
つまりミステリーの禁忌に触れるすべての要素は初めから無視して書かれということよ。
Who else by that fucking first rule of, like, the thoughts? I think it's the first rule anyway. About, like, following their thoughts. Can we, like, rule out then? Because I know we've followed Canon's thoughts and Shannon's. Did we ever follow Goda's? I'm pretty sure we did, right?
Yeah, we got into Hideyoshi's head a bit. We've gotten into Ava's head. If we're talking about just side stuff, a lot of people are actually ruled out other than... Let's see, we haven't gotten into Kiri's mindset. I don't think we've gotten into Rudolph's.
We haven't gotten into Krause's either.
We haven't gotten into Krause's.
But the fact that we've heard Ava's thoughts, at least, may point to the fact that Ryukishi is going to break that.
Yeah,
because we know that Ava absolutely did fucking kill someone.
Yeah.
Or at least, got into, involved in a murder. Even if she wasn't the one who actually fucking pulled the trigger.
Yeah, Ava was involved in murders. I cannot see any other possibility. Oh, it's a bit more specific in Noxus first? Okay.
Must not imply an attitude of mystification in the character who turns out to be the criminal. So, like, purposefully obfuscating, like, what they're thinking, more or less, or at least, like, giving the impression that the author is purposely obfuscating that.
Like, basically, giving us the thoughts, and we'd go, okay, the criminal would never think that.
Okay, that's much better.
Yeah, that's much more specific.
Then in that case, like,
Yeah.
everyone that we followed thoughts of so far could actually still be murderer.
Yeah,
Okay,
like, you
fair
can't go, who killed the man, thought killer man. The only one I would say that we can rule out if that's true is Hideyoshi. Because Hideyoshi had thoughts that suggested he did not know who killed Shannon.
However, that only applies if there's only one or two killers that know that they are killers and are working with the other.
Yes. If they are working independently, that's different.
And then someone else killed Shannon and he was like, who the fuck?
Yeah, basically had to word it that precisely to work around Agatha Christie being a fucking genius. Which, fair. Fucking Agatha Christie gave the excuse enough for her divorce, using her writing skills.
Yeah, there's a reason why Agatha Christie is considered a genius of the genre.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway.
In other words, from the very start, we have to forget about any and all elements that would violate the taboos of the mystery genre.
Yeah, I don't. I'm pressing X to doubt to say all taboos are taboo. But I can at least go, okay, you need to come up with a proper explanation to get closer to the truth at this point, Battler.
無視だと
Forget about them.
例えばこれまでのゲームで何度も密室殺人があったでしょ
For example, several locked room murders have occurred in the games before now, right? Sorry.
あ
Yeah?
あなたはベアトとその度に犯行現場で隠し扉が存在しないかどうか随分と熱
At
心
every
に
single crime scene, to make sure that there are no hidden doors, you've been enthusiastically checking with Beato, haven't you?
まるでそれ自体が戦いであるかのように
Weaving a flashy bunch of red truths together all over the place.
赤き真実を織り交ぜてガキンガキンと派手に
Almost as though that itself was the battle.
あれ私に言わせると時間の無駄
I call that a waste of time.
だってノックス第3条で明記されてるんだもの
After all, it's clearly specified by Nox's third commandment.
秘密の通路の存在を禁ず
It is forbidden for hidden passages to exist.
No, there's what Nox says, even in the abbreviated version I read, is only one can exist.
I wonder if that's one per locked room
秘
or
密の
one
通路
in
はあっ
total.
ちゃいけない
I think one per total story. Which fair enough, because usually it's not... You don't have time loop shenanigans.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess the hidden path in this one would be the fucking, the
Path.
goddamn well path.
Yeah, the path between here and Kuadorian.
In the mystery genre, hidden passages mustn't exist.
Yeah, it's one per story with the addendum that if a house had a hidden passage in it, everyone in the country would know about it. And yeah, Umineko uses a slightly modified version of it.
Yeah, that's fair. We can tell.
つまり正式なミステリーとして解釈しようとする場合隠し扉があるのかどうかなんて論争始め
So I guess like the real thing here is now figuring out if Ryukishi is actually following them or not.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So when trying to interpret everything as a proper mystery, having a debate over whether there are hidden doors or not is defeat from the beginning, don't you see?
Yeah, no, I'm pressing X to doubt Bernkastel.
Yeah.
Especially because what we know of Kinzo's past is he's an eccentric old fucker who built this house himself. So there's at least one. There's at least a passage between Kuadorian.
だって
Which we even already know about. Yay.
存在するかもしれないと疑う時点でもうゲームオーバー
After all, there aren't any. As soon as you suspect that they might exist, then it's already game over for you.
Yeah, no. I think you're
Hit you with a quick, I don't believe you.
Yeah. You're too closely bound to the mystery genre. In a way, Battler isn't, because Battler has more flexible thinking.
つまり犯行現場に隠し扉が存在しないことが証明されてないから推理できないなんて
In other words, the way you assume that you can't use reason just because it hasn't been proven that hidden doors don't exist at the crime scene
甘ったれたあなたはミステリー失格
makes you simply naive and a failure at mysteries.
その時点でゲームオーバー
You've already lost once you start thinking that.
Which I mean,
total bullshit.
yeah, like, there's definitely some bullshit there. But that's also fair in that Battler's been ignoring possibilities by going straight to, oh, there's a hidden door, I just can't find it because it's actually well built. And if that's not the case, then Battler's been missing a lot of things.
I think the main part of this mystery that I'm actually curious about is how the fuck did they simulate Gap's fucking teleportation shenanigans?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, how the fuck are you gonna explain that one, author? Because, like, I can think of an explanation for it, but it's so fucking contrived that I'm like, nah, there's no way.
I could think of one, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's the one that, like, Battler already said, like, oh yeah, there's hidden trap doors. And then it's just like, I don't know about that one.
Well, no, actually,
In those specific spots.
Actually, what I think it is, rather than hidden trapdoors, it was a drugging. How they got people to move that fast, I don't know. But they were drugged, assumed they were falling because of the sensation of whatever that drug is. And then, when they were tossed haphazardly onto the ground, they woke up in succession.
Like, fucking maybe, I guess.
And their
like, in real life, there's no fucking drug that could actually, like, knock you out that fast. However, this is fiction, so some corners will probably cut with the exact science of it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
how it usually goes, at least.
And, I mean, for all we know, they could have been drugged prior to this.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that there would be symptoms leading up to them passing out like that, and not just falling. Like, they would become drowsy, and they would be able to tell, because like you don't get drowsy and then not notice you're about to fall asleep.
Yeah. Two of the fictions holding together all thriller fiction are Knockout Gas and a Knockout Karate Chop.
Yeah, like neither of which actually work at all the way that they're portrayed to do.
Yes. Anyway.
Hell, the Knockout Karate Chop fucking, like, that infiltrates everything. Everything. I was reading a fantasy romance earlier, and it had a fucking Knockout Karate Chop in it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things, and then you can go like, oh, well, the Vulcan nerve pinch is just that, just slightly obfuscated.
Fucking... Like, the Knockout Karate Chop as a martial artist myself, just like fucking...
I wish it
have
worked
to
out that
completely
way.
ignore it. I have to completely ignore it, because even if you could knock someone out like that, which maybe you can, maybe you can't. I'm not privy to every martial arts thing in the world. They're like, the idea behind it at least is solid, being able to like compress the blood vessels in someone's neck enough to knock them out. That's how sleeper holes work, right? You could potentially come up with something like that. However, the problem is, people remember being put in a sleeper hole.
Yes. Whereas...
And if you did it with a fucking karate chop, they'd be bruised and they'd be able to tell.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, first off, you are fucking with the blood vessels, that's gonna bruise. Anyway.
Ask me how I know. Fuck's sake. So yeah, I just like with armor like not being like done properly, I have to just ignore it, because otherwise I will just like rip my own goddamn hair out about it.
Yeah.
Yes, by the way, sleeper holds do not actually choke the person. They do not compress the windpipe. That's how you kill someone. Sleeper holds use your forearm and your bicep to compress the
Blood
veins
vessels.
and the arteries on the sides of your neck.
Yes. that is something that the Hitman series gets correct, which it fucking should, being the Hitman series.
Yeah, of course. For the people who like their extracurricular activities, a little BDSM style, they would also know this.
That is also true. You do not compress the windpipe. Do not compress anybody's windpipe unless you're trying to kill them. And also don't kill people unless you're, following the law.
Excuse me.
But if you are looking for kinky BDSM shit, that is blood vessels and arteries on the side of the neck, not...
Now press with your fingers, not your palm.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were trying to interpret everything within the bounds of the mystery genre, right?
I'm predicting where this is going to eventually go is Battler going, fuck both of you. It's neither the mystery genre nor the fantasy genre. It is just reality. And sometimes people will break the mystery genre rules too.
Especially since Kinzo's an old eccentric fuck.
Yeah.
ならミステリーのお約束にちゃんと従わなきゃ。
Then you've got to follow its conventions. Ridiculous laughter.
Bernkastel laughing is unsettling. In a good way. Because it's like, she's been so straight-faced this entire time, but now we're getting into her just being a little fucking gremlin.
Yeah, which, like, Bernkastel, I probably have said this before, but, like, of the Dara types, Bernkastel is my favorite one, of the Kudera type.
Yeah.
That's my favorite shit. Which goes a long way to explain why I like her expression so much. She coughs to like play off the embarrassing laugh. That's good. I like that a lot. That's how it is. Hidden doors must not exist at any of the crime scenes.
So witches just pathologically have a mad cackle. I like it.
Goddamn, apparently.
だからその存在を確かめる行為はすべて時間の無駄ってわけ。
That means anything you do to try and check whether they exist or not is a waste of time. Yeah, but you have unlimited time because the game board pauses during these segments, so, like, shut up.
Yeah. And following every avenue makes sense. Now, I could agree saying you cannot stop at a explanation of a trapdoor, hidden passage, etc. if you're trying to find the core of the mystery.
Yeah, of course. That's just like, even if you agree that, like, there generally aren't hidden doors, you still must ask all the time simply to rule it out. To maintain that it's not there, right? Because hidden doors and hidden passages do exist in real life.
Yeah.
Even if they're not even, like, fucking meant to be that, and they were just, like, boarded up because they were some, like, fucking crawl space that wasn't being used anymore.
Yep, exactly. I think I know what you're talking about. I've heard about it somewhere. Is this like the 10 basic rules for mystery novels or something?
そうよ。希代の魔女狩り大司教ノックスが振りかざす魔女をうがつ10本のくさびよ。
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's right. They're the 10 witch-piercing wedges brandished by Nox, the peerless archbishop of witch hunting. Uh-huh. Sure.
Interesting. Granted, it wouldn't be the first time a literary figure was used as, oh, we're just gonna go ahead and put him in this genre.
Yeah.
As a witch hunter or whatever. Like,
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Yes, like in, the, last case of... what was his name? The last case of something Fox, I'd have to look it up. In fact, I'm going to, because it will bother me. The last case of Benedict Fox. Harry Houdini was actually kind of a curio supplier for, folks who were working outside the law when it came to magic. And sometimes they even bought shit from him, the law people, the lawful people.
Interesting. I don't know why this reminded me of it, but actually, I kind of do know why now. But I'll explain in a second. A few years ago, there was a fucking I don't remember its name now, but there was a show on Amazon Prime that was like England during the the mid 1800s, but the New World was full of fairies and magic, and not like other humans.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Which I thought was very cool and interesting, and I want to see more of it, but it got fucking cancelled, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, which I guess kind of makes sense, because their other their other thing dealing with that new world is a fucking failure.
Something Lane, I think?
Oh, what the hell?
What was that?
I don't know. I didn't touch anything.
Lambda, who's in charge, how much did we skip there? Okay.
I think a wire touched the control key.
Maybe. Further down, yeah. There we go. Those are the true weapons with which to fight and defeat the fantasy known as the Witch Illusion head-on. Just like you, Bern, bringing in such annoying weapons. They're the fantasy side's worst enemies. That's you.
Yeah. So you denied the existence of hidden doors right from the start without even investigating the crime scene. That's what sounds like fantasy to me.
Lambda, who's in charge of the witch side, is fantasy. I'm the one who's fighting her, mystery. What are you? The most you can do is repeatedly dodge and deny fantasy, which makes you merely anti-fantasy. You're opposed to absolutely everything, but you can make no counter-proposals. You're like a politician from some government.
Ha! Get him, Bernkastel. Shut up.
お前たちとわけのわからねえ話をするためにここに戻ってきたんじゃね
I didn't come here to speak gibberish with you
え。
two.
さっさと話を続けろ。
Just get on with the story.
静かになさいよ。
Carnival Row.
あんたの
That's
後
right,
ろの
that's it.
眠り姫が辛そうよ。
Yeah, got 2 seasons and then it was canceled. Which sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, quiet down. That sleeping princess behind you is suffering, you know?
When he turned around, he saw Beto's living corpse resting in a chair. However, sweat glistened all over her body, and it felt like she was breathing a little harder than normal. She looked as though she was suffering from a high fever.
ベアート、どうしたんだ？大丈夫か？
Beto, what's wrong? Are you okay?
大丈夫かって。あんたお
What
か
do
し
you
な
mean,
こと言うよ
okay?
ね。
You sure do say some strange things.
その子を殺すためにあんたは戦ってるんでしょうが。
You're fighting to kill that girl. I was gonna say that. She's like, buddy, what? What are you doing?
I mean, yes, but also... Like, you can want to kill somebody without wanting them to suffer in the meantime.
That's true, yeah.
You know, Battler wants a clean... We both square up, we fire our blades at each other, one of us falls down.
あんた タに合わせて第5のゲームを改装しているけれど、ゲームは今ベルンがかなり追い込んでいて、魔女幻想を打ち破ろうとしているの。
We've rewound this 5th game for your benefit, but where we're at now, Burns cornered me pretty good, and she's about to break through the witch illusion.
Ah, that's also a thing. Is Battler needs to find out the whole truth before that happens. So something is gonna have to happen to make that not work.
Mm-hmm.
その存在が否定されかかってるんだもの。
That girl's existence has been almost completely denied.
苦しむのは当然だわ。
It's only natural that she's suffering.
Yeah, makes sense, because she's the version of Beato that is the legend. Whereas the Beato in the suit that we usually see on the board is the disguised person.
Whoever the fuck.
Whoever the fuck. And then the monotone one is the one that embodies whatever the fuck happens to Rokenjima that kills somebody without anybody being present to set it off.
あなただって今、金蔵が存在するわけがないと魔女幻想を打ち破ったわ。
Even just now, you smashed a witch illusion by saying there was no way Kinzo existed.
あなたの攻撃がベアに通った証拠よ。
This is the proof that your attack reached Beato.
彼女のその苦悶は。
This agony of hers.
Yeah, and it's possible that she's kind of been grinning and bearing it when she's been conscious. But she can't really do that now.
Rather than possible, I think it's like that's actually the case.
I tried to at least wipe away the sweat on Beato's forehead with a handkerchief. It's true I promised Beato that I'd let her die, but that was supposed to be peacefully. I wasn't planning to make her suffer first. Which, yeah, fair. My goal isn't to make the sleeping Beato suffer like this before killing her. As if the complicated feelings inside me were plain as day to them, the two witches grinned together.
Fucking nerds.
Yep.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yes?
I have 3 donuts right here, but they're each of a different kind. I have 1 glazed donut, 1 sugar top donut, and 1 dual filled Bavarian cream and chocolate donut. Which one do I eat?
Do you want something light or do you want something heavy?
I don't fucking know. That's why I'm even bothering to ask.
Alright, then I would say, for my personal taste, I want the cream and chocolate.
Okay. So, it's also the chocolate glaze, too, so. I don't have any fucking paper towels in here. That's new.
Whoops.
That's fine. I got a tablet I can fucking use instead. Just put this right here over the arm of my chair so I can wipe my hands if I get them all filthy. Alright.
Neki is, sister, right?
Yep.
Damn it, Ava. Dad overheard because you kept yelling about the inheritance.
私のせいじゃないわよ。どうしようもないでしょ?
It isn't
It's just
mine.
like with Onisan and Onesan and Nesan, Nisan.
Yeah.
The I is masculine, the E is feminine.
Okay. It isn't my fault. How was I supposed to know? I mean, if you yell in a man's house, he's gonna hear you.
Yeah.
たまたま廊下にいて聞かれてたなんて事故でしょ、事故。
He just happened to be in the corridor and heard. It was an unlucky coincidence. Or you could not yell when you're doing these things.
予算か2人とも
I don't think the Ushuramias have ever like actually considered that possibility.
That's fair, yeah. Could you two give it a rest?
今回は運が悪かったと思って諦めるんや
Just call it our bad luck this time and give it up.
男の機嫌なんてほっとけばコロッと治るもんやで
If you leave a man alone, his mood will pop right
I don't
back to
fucking
normal.
believe that at all.
Fuck no. Some of the most have been...
There's a reason like why we have fucking like stories of people like nursing their grudges for like 30 years before like doing some insane shit to bring their enemy down.
Yeah, like... Some of the cis men I know about in history or in modern day are some of the most petty motherfuckers that have ever existed.
I know I don't personally like particularly count, but man, do I hold a grudge. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're saying...
Because I know I only count like half the time, but still.
Yeah.
Come on.
気分を害したお父さんがおかしな遺書を残さないでくれるといいわね。
Hopefully father's feelings weren't hurt so much that he writes up some strange will. No, he never thought of writing a will at all. The relative sighed deeply and fell into silence.
マリアもはしゃがないの。
Hey, Maria, no jumping
エ
around.
ンジェちゃんが転んだらどうするの。
What if Angie
What the
trips
fuck
over?
is disconnecting? I've gotten the disconnect sound effects from like a sound alert thingy from like a USB thing getting disconnected like 4 times today.
Huh.
And it's not coming up on stream because I don't have like my desktop audio captured. But I've heard it multiple times and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I don't see anything turning on or off or anything.
お待たせしました
Damn it, I thought I was just gonna get to eat my donut and not speak today. Shit. Sorry to keep you waiting.
船の準備が整いました
The boat is ready.
ほな行くで
Alright, let's go.
今はぐちぐち言っても始まらんで
Won't get anywhere by complaining now.
またのご来島を心よりお待ち申し上げております。
We eagerly await your return to this island.
I think I like the chocolate filling, but I can't tell what kind of chocolate it is. So it has a different aftertaste.
Hmm.
Yeah, it just says fucking chocolate on the thing, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Natsuki was sitting on a bench in the rose garden looking completely worn out. However, when she noticed that Kanon and Kumasawa were coming back, she immediately sat up straight, regaining the dignity of the head's wife.
船は出ましたか？
What is the actual point of having all the power of a noble family and not lounging around like a fucking slug?
Right?
Why would you do this to yourself, Natsuki? What the fuck? Did the boat leave?
はい。たった今出
Fuck.
港なされました。
Why couldn't Kumasawa answer? God damn it.
I'll get it. You eat the donut.
No, I'm fine. Yes, it departed just a minute ago.
そうでしたか。見送りご苦労でした。主人はどうしてますか？
I see. Good job seeing them off. What is my husband doing?
先
Losing money.
お部屋にお戻りになりました。お休みになられるとのことです。
He returned to his room a short while ago. He is resting.
Since the previous day, Kraus had been almost overwhelmed by anxiety over the thought that Kinza's death might be discovered. When the family conference ended, his weariness must have suddenly gotten a hold of him.
But also another field.
Yeah. However, the way he had refused to let even a sliver of his true intentions slip out, and the manner in which he had managed to act as though everything was normal showed that Kraus's nerve was nothing to sneeze at.
どうでしたか？彼らはお父様のことを不審がってはおりませんでしたか？
How was it? Did they seem to notice anything suspicious about father?
いいえ、親方様に遺産分配の話を立ち聞きされたと。エヴァ様などはそれは大騒ぎでしたとも。
Nope, Lady Ava in particular was raising quite the racket about the master overhearing her talking about the inheritance, right?
あの慌てっぷり傑作でしたね。
Wasn't her panicking just priceless?
はい。
Excellent.
大層取り乱しておいででした。
Yes, she was quite shaken up.
しかし、熊沢もなかなかの演技力ですね。あの廊下での
Kumasawa, you really are quite an
そこ
actress.
にお父様がいらっしゃったかのようでしたよ。
All that panic in the corridor made it seem like Father really was there. Okay, I see how they pulled it off. They had her panic in like as if he hadn't heard it and then like stomped off in a rage.
Yep, makes sense.
熊沢さんはそういうのが大変お上手ですから。
Kumasawa is quite talented at that sort of thing.
Interesting. Yeah.
あら、やだやだ、褒めすぎですよ。
Oh, come now, I don't deserve such praise.
Making a mental note of that Kumasawa is a skilled actor.
Yeah.
熊沢の病欠の電話は簡単に信じないよ。
Get fucked.
I will have to make it very clear to Genji not to believe you easily when you call in sick.
それは手厳しゅうございますよ、奥様。
Now that's just too harsh, madam.
This is the first time I've seen like a ho 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 type laugh actually done properly, or heard
Yeah,
a ho ho
absolutely.
type laugh actually done properly. Everything right? Because like most of the time it just sounds really weird, but with her, no, it sounds so natural. That's so good. Kumasawa's voice actor needs like fucking like awards for the performance here.
Absolutely
You
agree.
really did a good job. Which I'm sure like they have gotten like awards and like plenty of praise for it, but still I had to like it bears repeating because it's that good. As promised, both of you as well as Genji and Shannon.
過去1ヶ月分の休暇の買い上げと新たに5日の有給を与えます。
Will be reimbursed for the time off you've sacrificed over the past month, and will receive 5 days of additional pay.
That feels a little too little.
That's 2.5 time. Because remember that that they're only here for 2 days.
Ah, fair.
秘密の手当ですよ。
Which they should already be like pretty well paid to begin with, so it's probably like that's probably a pretty fucking penny right there.
他の使用人たちに気取られ
Not like this is gonna be a couple $100, but like a couple thousand in 1980s money. So this bonus is a secret. Speak with Genji when you collect your pay to ensure that the other servants don't find out.
ええ、心得ておりますとも。ねえ。
Don't you worry, we understand, don't we?
熊沢さん、声が大きいです。
Kumasawa, your voice is too loud.
お、いけないいけない。
How very careless of me.
そうですね。この話はこれまでとします。
Yes, we should be careful. Let's leave it at that for the time being.
各自通常のお勤めに戻るように。
All of you, please return to your regular duties.
そうそう。ゴーダに特別にお茶の用意をさせました。
Oh, that's right. I had to go to prepare some special tea.
いただくように。
Tell him to serve it. I wonder then if Kumasawa actually does play the role of Virgilia somehow.
Maybe. Natsuki let them know that she wanted to be left alone for a while, so that she could drink some black tea in the rose garden. That black tea carried all the way to the bench, was Sri Lankan tea dimbula that she had promised Beato along with the patties. And sitting on either side of it, the head and her witch could be seen, both of them staring at it curiously.
これがパティスですか。私はてっきり 焼き菓子のようなものだとばかり。
Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure. Are we sure that this is what they're talking about? Because patis is normally a fish sauce, and I'm like, do you take fish sauce with tea?
Let's see, I guess. I'm sure they'll explain it here in a minute.
Because I also assumed it was some kind of baked good because of patisserie.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is patis. I just assumed it would be some kind of baked sweet.
Natsuhi hadn't thought for a moment that it would have a curry-like spicy flavor and started coughing after putting it in her mouth. Okay, so it is something different than the fish sauce. Good.
Well, it might still be because I didn't actually look at the ingredients of it at all.
To describe it in Japanese terms, it was like age gyoza, fried dumplings stuffed with mashed curry-flavored potatoes.
Huh.
As a savory snack, it would probably be pretty popular with the kids. However, it was something of a shock to Natsuhi, who expected the treat to go with tea would be something sweet.
知らんのか？ディンブラといえばこれだぞ。
I cannot find any information on like whatever kind of patis they have here. Like anywhere. There are places called Patis Bakery, but like So the tea is from Sri Lanka, maybe the patises as well. Okay, yes, they're like fish patties. Yeah, okay, like gyoza type looking fucking dumplings.
Okay, perfect. Just threw what's off that it was listed as such.
Okay, in English they're called fish patties, but it's like, bitch, that ain't a patty. It's like a dumpling or a really small fucking empanada, maybe. Yeah, I think I would actually describe it as a fish empanada. Now that I'm looking at it like up close. Fuck it. Alright then. Didn't you know you cannot have tabbouleh without this? Were it another black tea, it would be cookies.
Oh, empanadas were derived from Cornish pastry. Or pasties.
Oh, but chocolate is good too. With Japanese tea, sweet bean jelly is the tradition, although salted konbu also works. With Chinese tea, you have zhonglongbao. Holy shit, I actually got that so close to right. What the fuck?
There you go.
I'm normally so bad with Chinese stuff. Wow. That surprised me. Anyway, though I like mooncakes as well.
驚きました。随分と文化に詳しいのですね。
I'm surprised. You know a lot about culture, don't you?
I mean, she's been locked in. She's been locked in the house for however long.
Oh, it's Bowsy. Okay. They're steam buns.
Yeah, they're steam buns.
世界の名茶は一通り試した。
Okay, yeah, I see. The xiaolong is a small steaming basket. That's what they're served in, which is why they're called xiaolong bao. It's bao zi in a xiaolong.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. I get it. Okay. Anyway, well, I haven't been living 1,000 years for nothing. I've sampled all the finest teas from around the world.
お茶の世界旅行といったところか。
Perhaps you could call me a tea traveler,
Fair enough.
確かに
tea tourist.
それは立派な世界旅行ですね。このような紅茶の楽しみ方もあると今日初めて知りましたので。
That does seem like it would be a wonderful way to travel the world. Before today, I never knew that one could enjoy tea like this.
これは貴重な体験です。
I will treasure this experience.
I have a feeling this is gonna go poorly for you.
Mm-hmm.
わらわは六軒島より出られぬ身。これくらいしか旅をすることはできぬでな。
I cannot leave Rokenshiba. This is the only way I can travel.
そなたはどうか富豪の妻らしく世界を優雅に旅してきたのであろうが。
I don't think she has. Because she's always so busy cleaning up after his messes. What about you? I'm sure you've traveled the world in luxury as the wife of a rich man should.
No, cause fuck no, Kraus isn't gonna actually treat his partner to anything really nice.
I honestly do not think I could help myself, like, buying the, like, most out there foods if I had that kind of money.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I realized the other day that my love language is sharing food from my plate. Very specifically, sharing food from my plate, because I don't share for shit. Once it's on my plate or in my bowl, it's mine and you can't have
yeah, that's honestly fair.
it. Like, I'll cook as much for like a group of people or whatever, but once it's actually on my plate or in my bowl or whatever, it's all mine. I'm not giving it to anyone, even if I can't finish what's on my plate. I don't know why. It's not like I ever had to deal with people stealing food or anything like that. It's just, that's how I am.
Yeah, and absolutely, I would get all of the interesting foods, not the extravagant foods, necessarily. Cause, fuck,
Oh yeah, of course.
fuck edible gold.
Yeah, that's just fucking ridiculous. That's so fucking stupid. It's like, yeah, hold on. Let me just, like, stuff a bunch of heavy metal in my body. What? No!
Yeah,
Absolutely not. I don't care that it's mostly unreactive. I don't give a shit.
it doesn't add to the flavor at all, so it's just fucking gaudy as shit.
Although, like, if I had the money, I might actually experiment with trying to find a way to have gold actually add to the flavor of the meal.
I might be
Because that's the
curious.
kind of weird shit I'm into, right? Is like figuring out this weird stuff like that. I would love to be able to do that so I can write a culture who actually did that. In some fantasy bullshit where gold was very plentiful, right?
Yeah, I could see that.
ジェシカが生まれる前は主人
Oh,
は
never
いろん
mind.
な国に私を連れて行ってくれました。
Give it a minute. Before Jessica was born, my husband took me to many countries.
嫁ぐまでは一度も海外旅行をしたことがなかったので、どれも新鮮な体験でしたよ。
Before marrying, I never once traveled overseas, so each time was a fresh and new experience.
そなたも窮屈な家に生まれたらしいな。
Sounds like you were also born into a very restrictive household.
厳格でしたが、素晴らしい教育を施してくれました。
Fucking bullshit. I don't think my parents being more strict with me than they were would have made anything better for me.
No.
And my parents were not, like, particularly strict, right? Like, I cannot imagine, like, a strict upbringing as a good thing.
Yeah, it also doesn't help that the American conservatives' idea of strict is yelling and not letting you engage in hobbies they deem unfruitful.
You know, like I honestly I can't even imagine like what a strict upbringing might be.
Because to me, a strict upbringing that's positive, though I really don't think strict upbringings are the best way to do things, but to use a light version is having a consistent up time and bedtime, and having structure throughout the day so you can get done what needs to get done and engage in extracurriculars to expand your being as a person.
Okay, I can sort of see that, I think. But I don't think like a strict like downtime, like go to bed at this time thing would ever work for me because my ass has chronic insomnia.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. It would not work for me either.
Because I actually did have like a strict-ish, a consistently strict-ish, like you go to bed at this time for like the first 14 years of my life. But eventually my parents went, this is not working. This does not help this kid's insomnia.
Yeah.
Because it fucking doesn't.
Yeah, because you actually.
I mean, it does, but not. You know, like so. One of the things with the chronic insomnia you're supposed to do is always try to get to sleep at roughly the same amount at the same time. However, if you don't fall asleep within 10 to 15 minutes of like that consistent downtime, you're supposed to get back up and keep doing stuff until then try again in an hour, right? You're not supposed to just lay there for 3 hours until you go to sleep.
Yeah, that's the most annoying shit that people will try and tell you is just shut your eyes and don't do anything until you fall asleep. And
you know, like bitch, that like I will literally sit there for 3 hours.
Yeah, I will literally lay down there with my thoughts for 3 hours.
Constantly getting like within an inch of sleep and then bursting back awake. Just constant. It's this constant fucking up and down. So, you know, consistent like downtime and wake time is good for insomnia, but not in the way that people think. It's not that you that this solves it, but it gives your body like something to expect, right? Because like the problem with insomnia is that your circadian rhythm is all fucked up somehow, or you've got some kind of anxiety or some other issue that is plaguing you. So this consistency helps get your body into the routine of doing this. It's not a cure-all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because believe me, if it was a cure-all, I would not have chronic insomnia anymore. I am 29 years old.
Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, and you know, obviously keep the idea of your child in mind, but also like, you know, just to me, a supposedly good strict upbringing would be one of structure and making sure that they're doing the things that they have to do, like school, but also expanding who they are as a person. So doing some study, going to museums, and engaging in that kind of thing.
Yeah. See, like the thing with me is that I read enough and did enough like random bullshit as a kid that I literally almost never had homework because I would finish it in class before the lecture was over.
Yeah, that's fair.
Assuming, of course, that the teacher actually fucking gave me the worksheet beforehand, because obviously I can't finish it if I don't have it by the end of class.
Yeah, obviously. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, it depends on the kid. Like, honestly, what I could have done with was somebody to let me go to martial arts classes, because you got to experience being a martial artist, like, actually engaging in that stuff. Whether that was self-taught or not.
Classes. That was self-taught for sure. Because I did not have the money to actually go. We had the money for maybe a fucking 6 months there, but we couldn't actually find anywhere nearby because we were like out in the fucking woods, right?
Which, yeah, fair.
We literally had to drive like 50 minutes to get to the nearest fucking martial arts place. So yeah.
Yeah, a lot of physical activity, and admittedly, I could have done with expanding my reading when I was younger. Because it was a lot of...
I did almost nothing but reading and hiking and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I lived in the woods, so like I could just go on a hike whenever I wanted.
Yeah, because that was definitely part of the problem, is neighborhoods in America are built for cars, not for people.
Mm-hmm. Literally all I had to do was like go out my front door, turn to my right, walk maybe like 10 paces, and then turn to the right again and just walk off into the woods.
Very fair. I would probably get lost, to be honest.
I don't think I got lost once. It's not because like I have a good sense of direction or anything, but rather just like the woods where I lived were well traveled because they were so good for hiking. People would like to hike a lot, so there were plenty of paths that you could like memorize.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, yeah,
I still have them memorized to this day after my brain went to shit. And it's been like fucking 15 years.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, if there were paths, I'd at least be able to find my way out and then look at a landmark and go, okay, this is where I am.
Yep. It was actually like maybe like an 8-foot tall plateau in the woods that everyone would go to. Like everyone in the area would eventually like find their way there because of like how the paths worked, and because their parents also did that and their parents did that. So like the paths were so worn in that everyone would eventually end up at this fucking plateau, and there was always like a campfire circle there that had been put out, or some old beer cans or something like that.
Which, you know, fuck you, don't leave your cans in nature, actually clean up that shit.
Yep. I never left my shit out there, but you know.
Yeah, some people would, yeah.
I also didn't like beer in the first place. And when I was younger, I thought I didn't like any beer because like the only ones that I could afford were the cheap American shit that tastes like piss. So for those of you who have been around people that roll their own cigarettes, if you have ever smelled most rolling tobacco, that is how American beer tastes.
Interesting.
What that shit smells like is what it tastes like, at least to me. So I fucking hate that shit.
I've never tasted beer. I've tasted other alcohols, but never beer.
I would recommend a Red's Apple Ale. It does have a beer taste to it, but it's also fairly apple-y, so, you know.
Yeah, also, I am moving my keyboard because that skip happened again. Thankfully, not very much, but it did.
I'm having issues with, like, this last fucking quarter of my cigarette. There's no airflow going through the fucking thing. And it is driving me up a wall. Because I can't keep it lit because of it. There we go. Anyway, it was strict, but they gave me a wonderful upbringing. It would be rude to my father and mother to call that restrictive. That tells me eloquently that it was.
Yeah. Kraus might have pitied Natsuhi. Or he might have wanted to take her away from the restrictive Ushiramiya family for a little bit and let her rest. Or he might simply have wanted to take his wife around countries he knew well and show off everything he knew.
Yeah, that drive to impress. I understand, to an extent. Give me about, like, 10 seconds.
Yep.
One of the things that I have to do with my my kettle, because the water is so hard here, is I have to wait for it to, for the minerals to settle in it. And the way that I time this is based on the temperature of the water inside the kettle.
Mm.
Because I can't actually see in it like I could with my other kettles. So in this case, what I do is I turn it on, and I set it to start boiling, and then like what it does first is it'll take the internal temperature of the water, so it can then figure out how much energy it needs to put into the water to heat it up, right?
Right.
And then it'll display that temperature. So as soon as it displays the temperature, I'm like, okay, it has been long enough, or no, it hasn't been long enough. I wait until it's about like 190 or 180, somewhere in there. But that means I can't look at the screen while I'm staring at this fucking thing.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just going through her line on this
マレーシアも
screen.
行きましたっけ？
Alright. Unlike father, my husband likes to countries in Asia. Hong Kong, Taiwan, Korea, Thailand. I think we also went to Malaysia.
クラウスめ
Also, pour one out for our Brazilian homies.
に反抗したつもりか
Also, shout out
I
to
don't
my
know if you heard
Malaysian
of
homie.
I don't know about if you heard about this yet, but Brazil banned all of Twitter
Yep.
because, and specifically, it's this simple. Elon did not have a legal representative for Twitter in Brazil.
Well, he had one, but he pulled him instead of doing what Brazil wanted.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the legal representative did not attend the court case.
Yeah.
Like the court trial thing. So
yeah, no.
that's all it
literally
was.
no- yeah, literally no legal representation. So fuck you. We do what we want.
Yeah, which is fucking ridiculous. And now it's nearly $8,000 per day in fines if you are caught using a VPN to access Twitter from Brazil.
Wow.
Which is fucked, dude.
Wow. Yeah. So hello, the million or so new Blue Sky users.
Yeah, it was 1 million per day. Not 1 million just overall since it was banned, but it was 1 million per day. So Blue Sky is exploding, and it even had a fucking like big crash yesterday because of it.
Yeah, and it's like, noted fucking, person who kowtows to governments all the time, Elon Musk, would not do what Brazil asked him, and would not even engage in a dialogue with them.
Yeah, and what they wanted him to do was ban 7 users.
Yeah, and
7.
Speaking of, he revealed who those users were, and thus, a bunch of Twitter users mass reported them, so only 3 are not banned from the site anyway.
Which is hilarious. It kind of sucks though, because like I have several Brazilian colleagues and friends, so
yeah, it's
fucking sucks all that.
Yeah, that
GRS, the lady that does all those funny like gag lesbian comics, she's Brazilian.
Ah, gotcha. So
like the ones that I was sending you earlier. That's why I was sending them to you, because like she
was sharing those. Hi. What the hell happened?
My mouse double clicked and ended the call.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Good thing I didn't have my fucking reference folder up, huh?
Yeah, really.
I'd have gotten TOS'd.
Yep.
Anyway, but that's the reason why I was sending you all those images of hers, is because she directed everyone to her Reddit instead.
Which fair.
In case that they didn't want to use like a VPN to access everything.
Yeah. Which, yeah.
She's gay. She does crimes.
Yeah. Honestly, I probably wouldn't fucking bother because it's Twitter. But yeah, no, be gay, do crimes.
Yep, and like it's difficult to find like a cheap VPN these days. It was very easy when I did it last, but that was when Black Desert was just coming out in Japan. So like I was like, I'm really interested in this. How about I grab a VPN to access it from Japan?
Yeah.
Turns out I didn't like it very much.
Yeah, same.
Mostly because like the voice lines were just so sexualized, and this was a problem for me. Okay, hold on a second. When did Black Desert get released in Japan? Japanese release. (2015). 9 years ago. It was still so bad that even me of 9 years ago was like, nah, absolutely not. This is too much.
Yeah, no, it's too much, and the story isn't worth it either.
Yeah, like I played through the entire main story of Black Desert when it finally released to America. I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, like there just wasn't anything.
I remember there just be like being like what they called a goblin, which that's the common English translation of Dokkandy.
Yeah, which is
basically just like a yokai or troll or whatever for all the other various classifications of supernatural entity.
Which it just nothing about it ever caught me, and if something is too dry for me, I will just check out.
Same, dude. Like, what eventually made me stop playing, because, like, the gameplay itself was fun, and I liked the class story.
Yeah.
Like, the character-specific class story. I liked that. But what made me stop playing was I eventually went and got a cosmetic, because I was like, dude, fuck it. You know, I've been playing this game for a while. I got it for free. I might as well. I went and got this cosmetic that was, like, actually armor. It still had, like, 4-inch stiletto heels. And the fucking boob physics on a breastplate. Like a steel breastplate. Now I was just like, no, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
No, like, even if you do titty armor, that shit stays in place.
Yeah. Don't give me jiggle physics on my breastplate. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, because otherwise, it looks like you just painted on armor. Or something.
God. I actually remember the class story pretty fucking well. So the Dark Knight, at least, is a member of a female-only order of knights that guard the Elven Queen.
Interesting.
Which is kind of fucking cool.
Yeah, that is actually kind of cool. It's just a shame that a lot of it is kind of dull, to be honest.
Yeah, like the actual story for the class quest for at least the Dark Knight was very interesting as well, because the capstone enemy, the final boss of your class story that you fight, was you, but in the evolved form. It's literally yourself, just the version of you that didn't lose their memories.
Ah.
So that version of you used a completely different fighting style that you had to master on the fly during the fight, which was really fucking cool.
Yeah, that's honestly pretty interesting.
That Kraus, was he trying to rebel against Kinzo's Western obsession? But Asia is good too. The Japanese are strongly influenced by the West.
Wonder how that happened. Imperialism.
Mm-hmm. Which actually, I think the class quest of Black Desert for the Dark Knights inspired a little bit of the Inquisitors and the Royal Knights for Gwyneth.
That makes sense.
Now that I'm thinking about it. It's not like gender locked like it is in that setting, but I wouldn't strictly be opposed to a gender locked order like that in a setting where that makes sense in, actually. Normally I fucking hate gender locked bullshit like that. But in that case, it's sort of like you can make an argument for it, even if it's not super intelligent.
Yeah.
Even if it's not gigabrain, like you can make a fucking argument.
Oh yeah, like an interesting thing you could do is you could have in the tyranny setting have a sort of thing where I forget which gender owns the land and which one owns the sea.
Women own the land, and then men own the seas, I think.
Okay, so you could have it
might be the other way around, actually. But I think about it. Hold on.
Going from
that's only for the tiers, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, but basically going, okay, a seafaring class is kind of locked to men for the most part, but for example, a mounted rider might be locked to women.
Yeah, less than it only like all sailors being men or all sailors being women. What it was is that only women were allowed to run those businesses, and only men were allowed to run those businesses, right?
Yeah.
Or traditionally, that's what it was like.
Yeah, exactly. Though it was a divide and conquer strategy by the ruler.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see in a setting like that, you can go, okay, that makes sense. So you could go.
That's also like Bronze Age too, so it's sort of like, yeah, okay, it's a little fucking like, not progressive at all, but sure.
Yeah, sure, it's
It
Bronze
makes
Age.
sense
And you can,
because it's Bronze Age.
So you can go, okay, so there's an order of mounted knights that are just women.
Yeah, and like the way that I was thinking about how you would justify it for like that order of knights, for example, protecting the queen, you wouldn't want. Of course, this would bespeak like some sort of like weird ideas about like
Sexuality and
what your queen is and what your
sexism, yeah.
knights are, and sexuality, sexism, and so on and so forth. But like, you wouldn't want your queen to be surrounded by a bunch of very strong men all the time, right? You would want it to be very strong women instead. Supposing
that kind of thing,
you know,
yeah.
But even in the case that she would cheat on you and you're okay with that anyway, you wouldn't want some random knight's kid being like the next heir, for example. You would want to keep at least that part, have legitimate children instead of bastard children.
Right.
And the same thing could be said for the Kingsguard. Maybe the Kingsguard are also all men. Specifically for that same reason. But I don't know, because I stopped playing the game. I don't know if there's a male Dark Knight equivalent. But whatever, it's fine. When they think of foreign countries, only Western ones come to mind. That might have something to do with what Japan did to China and Korea. Just
yeah,
saying.
There's also that.
And it's still in living memory at this point in time, too. Wow. But the East exists as well.
私も西洋の知識はそこそこにありましたが、東洋の知識はあまりなかったもので。
Yeah, I can definitely see it being like, well, if they have a dalliance, at least this way there won't be any bastard children sort of deal.
Yeah, I suppose.
旅先でいろいろと主人にからかわれましたっけ?
I myself knew a few things about the West, but I knew very little about the Orient. Don't call it that, by the way, if it's set in modern day. Just saying.
Yeah, no.
I think that's a fitting term for the time period here, but just any time after this, in a particular setting, don't do that. I seem to recall my husband making fun of me now and then during our travels.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, but it's what Nazi is saying though. Is I would definitely buy something Bayata would say, but right now, like, it's Nazi speaking, so yeah. I think it's like it's one of those things where you do kind of have to include shitty language if you're going to write a period piece, right? So, like, if you're writing it from the 1900s to the 1980s sometime, yeah, sure, go ahead. But you shouldn't do it after that unless you're writing like a really old character that it's just not up with the times.
Yeah. As Natsuki grumbled that they had all been very tiring trips, Beato secretly peeked into her heart. Kind of rude, but, you know. Now listen, this is called an areca nut. It's a popular luxury food item
he's
around
fucking
here.
with her right now.
He is.
Kick him in the ass cheeks.
It looked like a small round gourd-like nut that had been split open with a slice of cucumber wedged in it. Oh yeah, he's fucking with her. At a glance, it looked as though it would probably taste like pickles.
I see, so I just bite it here. Oh, God. This is why you side-eye everyone that offers you anything outside of a restaurant. You can look up what American that is.
Yeah.
It's also called a beetle nut. Interesting.
Yeah, this doesn't...
Oh, it's a stimulant drug. Okay.
Yeah. She tried to bite the one her husband was holding. He suddenly moved it away. It felt kind of embarrassing, like she was a fish who took the bait. Well,
Wait, wait up. You have... Or, no, that's you, sorry.
You have to eat it a certain way. Yes, you were supposed to bite it. Bite it, chew it, but don't eat it.
かじって噛むのに食べてはならないのですか
Nazi. Yeah, you can eat it in moderation, but excessive amounts of it.
He's actually not fucking with her right now.
Really?
Which is weird. Yeah. The preparation is not swallowed, but is spat out after chewing.
Interesting. Okay.
He's actually not fucking with her. What the fuck? However, he might be fucking with her in that, like, it's not prepared properly. Because if he's just giving her the nut itself and nothing else, then yeah. That's not what you're supposed to do. It's supposed to combine the nuts, slaked lime, and beetle, which is that leaf. And it's called a beetle quid. Also called pan in South Asia. It can sometimes include other substances for flavoring and freshen the breath, like coconut, dates, sugar, menthol, saffron, cloves, aniseed, cardamom, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so either she's... Well, no, it's probably a bit of cucumber.
Could be, yeah. Although it does kinda.
Yeah, well, we'll find out.
I wouldn't call it like a cucumber look, but it is sort of textured like that. So.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. I can't remember if you read this line or not.
Even though you bite it and chew it, you can't eat it.
Yes, bite and chew. Don't eat. And don't drink the juice. It'll make your stomach hurt.
わかりません。どうしてそんなものを食べなければならないのです
I don't understand. Why would you eat something like that?
Think of it as something like gum. Chew it and enjoy the flavor. Spit the juice and the scraps you've chewed off into a paper cup like this.
あなた、お口の中が真っ赤ですよ。
Yep, that's what happens. I was just reading that. If you eat it enough, like, your mouth will be stained bright red. Dear, the inside of your mouth is bright red. Wipe it off. No, that's supposed to happen.
The handkerchief she was wiping across her mouth with a favorite of hers also had bright red marks on it now. Something that's poisonous if eaten or drunk, and it makes the inside of your mouth so bright red. And on top of that, having to spit something out after you put it in your mouth. How indecent. Thinking this, Nazi firmly refused what Kraus was offering her.
嫌です、嫌です。結構です、結構です。
No, thank you. Thank you, but no.
This is a cross-cultural experience. What's the point of traveling if we don't do things that can only be done here? Yeah, but if somebody
I'm
tells
actually surprised that he's not fucking with her.
Yeah, I am. I legitimately thought he was about to pull, a fucking drop bear on her.
I think he's still fucking with her, just not the way that we thought, right? Because, she was just saying that, something you're supposed to spit out afterwards. How indecent, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, he's
offending her sensibilities rather than tricking her into eating something she shouldn't.
Yeah. Kraus kept chewing, ignoring the fact that even his lips were being colored bright red. Father likes these too. He must have ordered some long ago because he used to chew away at them on the mansion's terrace. Although, he seems to have stopped ever since you came here. Come on, Father, the person you respect even more than me chewed these all the time. Come on, don't hold back, try it.
No, stop it, dear.
When he was traveling the world, Kraus had the innocence of a child. He wouldn't even conceal his jealousy of the respect Natsuki normally gave Kinzo. Just being able to see that side of her husband made traveling all the way to another country worthwhile. Kraus kept on urging her to bite it, but Natsuki, undaunted, ran from place to place and finally yelled at him that he was being too pushy.
Two rich fuckers just like chasing each other around the fucking market.
Fair enough, I suppose. Kraus was miffed for most of the bus ride. What a child to let something like this get him down. Natsuki thought, astounded. Then a native tour guide on a bus took out one of those hooray nuts and started explaining about it. Talked about how it had been a beloved luxury item in these parts since ancient times, similar to tobacco. About how its popularity was declining because young people were starting to take a dislike to it, just like Natsuki. And about how it was treated as a good luck charm in this area, and was known as a symbol for couples. Oh no, you can't be cute, Kraus.
I was gonna say, like, don't be cute, you fucker.
She looked at her husband's face. He turned away abruptly, but it looked like his cheeks had gotten a little red. God damn it, you cannot be cute. You're not allowed.
You're not allowed. You're too much of a shitbag. Come on, man.
God damn it, Umineko's theme of even awful people are still people.
And then you leaned on your husband and held his hand all bad. What the heck? You and your husband share pretty pure love, don't you? Did you get all fired up? Don't say shit like that while I'm drinking, Beato. You know, like that night.
Red-faced and avoiding Beato's eye, Natsuki tried to hide her embarrassment by stuffing the patius hole into her mouth and chewing with her cheek puffed out like a blowfish.
That might be what she was referencing. Okay, Quinn, thank you.
Thank you, Quinn. So they're thought to be an aphrodisiac. Beato said that there was nothing better than this to go with tea, and nodded several times, a broad smile on her face.
もっとも、それも新婚の頃の話です。今は六軒島を出ることもできぬ身。
Of course, that was when we were newlyweds. Right now, I cannot even leave Rokonjima.
Yeah, you're kinda busy cleaning up the house around him.
Mm-hmm.
カゴの鳥ですよ。
I'm a bird in a cage.
それを言うならわらわも同じよ。死ねども死ねども、六軒島よりは逃げられぬ。
Well, it's the same for me. I've died more than once and I still can't escape Rokonjima.
カゴの鳥はわらわも同じだ。
I'm a bird in a cage just as you are.
あなたのことは知りませんし、詮索もしません。しかし、軽んじれぬ境遇であったことは察します。
You know what kind of sucks?
Mm-hmm.
I think when my mouse double clicked and fucked around with Discord earlier, and I was trying to get everything set back up. I think it also later, once I tabbed back over to Streamlabs, I double clicked on the Discord audio thing and muted Discord.
Oh.
I just looked over and was like, okay, why? I can hear the characters talking, I can hear the music. Why is the audio meter showing nothing at all? And then I looked at the fucking, like, the little button is like, oh, it's muted.
Ah,
Fuck.
dang it. Well, if you want to watch a VOD, watch my VOD.
Yeah, watch Nell's VOD. I don't know much about you, and I won't pry. However, I can imagine that the circumstances you're under are not ones I can make light of.
老名主を気取るつもりもないわ。同じカゴの鳥同士。せいぜい仲良くしようぞ。
I have no desire to act like the chief prisoner here. Let's be friendly as fellow birds in this cage.
わらわはそなたを気に入ったぞ。
I've taken a liking to you.
そうですか。ありがとう。
Really? Thank you.
Beato Nazi real. Damn it. Captioner.
Golder Nazi again?
Yeah.
Sucks.
この度の親族会議における使用人たちへの指示や采配は見事であった。
The instructions and orders you gave the servants for this family conference were superb.
金蔵が何時にどこにいて、何をして何を残したか。
You thought of everything from where Kinzo would be, and when to would be and when to what he did and what he left behind.
それらを見事に共有させ、矛盾なく組み上げた。
And you put it all together splendidly without any contradictions.
Interesting. So, yeah, she carried out this plan expertly.
Well, when you have a whole fucking year to plan it out.
高度な魔法陣のそれと同じ美しさがあったぞ。
That detailed written plan of yours had the same beauty as a high-level magic circle.
Interesting. To make it look like Kinzo actually existed and was living the life his own way, she had written his schedule for the day down to the finest detail and made the servants follow it to the letter. Who did he meet, when and where did he meet them, and what did he leave with them? What was he doing, when and where was he doing it, and what did he change? As a result, even though the relatives hadn't seen Kinzo even once, they never suspected in the slightest that he hadn't been there. Ava and the rest truly believed that their conversation about the inheritance had been overheard by Kinzo as he happened to walk through the hall, and that it had sent him into a rage. Everything had gone just as Natsuhi's plan had predicted, down to the finest detail. And the coordination between the two of them and the servants had also been spectacularly intricate.
万一にも知られるわけにはいかぬ秘密ですので。
We couldn't afford to have this secret found out under any circumstances.
念入りに策を練りましたから。
That's why I made such a thorough plan.
その緻密さと意志が絶対の成功を呼ぶ。
Your willpower and attention to detail summon success with certainty.
どうやらそなたは魔女としてはラムダデルタ教の一派らしいな。
As a witch, it seems you're in Lady Lambdadelta's camp.
それを魔法と自覚したならば、いつでも魔女見習いを名乗れるレベルだ。
At your current level, as soon as you become self-aware of that as magic, you will be worthy of calling yourself a witch apprentice.
Interesting.
Witch Natsuhi, Witch Natsuhi.
熊沢あたりは差し詰め、仮病の魔女ですね。
If you call something like that magic, then that would make Kumasawa the witch of feigned illnesses.
I mean...
忙しい日に限って腰痛で休むと連絡があります。
She only calls us to say she's taking the day off because of her bad back on the busy days.
I mean...
Which is honestly fair.
Fucking go for
like
it.
If you're genuinely, if you're going to be busy and you have a bad back, and you know that like the busyness will make it so much worse the next day, then like, yeah, call off on the busy days.
Yeah.
毎年親族会議の日にはいつもです。
Like every year's family conference.
Though she showed up to this one, because she was asked to.
More like she was paid more.
ああ、熊沢は違う違う。もっともっと高位の魔女であるぞ。
Oh no, Kumasawa was completely different. She's a witch of a much, much higher level.
正体知ったら驚くぞ。
If you knew what she really was, it'd shock you.
Which, I guess, fair enough, because she is the focus for Virgilia, probably. I was waiting there. Watching these two have their pleasant chat was another pair with steam rising from their black tea. However, this second pair was in a world that the first couldn't see, where golden roses bloomed.
ロノウェが気を利かせて同じディンブラとかいう紅茶を入れてくれたぜ。
Renove was kind enough to make us some of that dimbula tea too. It felt as though Beato mothered something. For the first time, it felt as though she had been able to communicate something. Surely she had taken an interest in the black tea and felt it like drinking it. Thinking this, Battler took Beato's cup and her hand and
Seriously,
made her grip
she
the
looks
cup.
so much better with her hair down.
Absolutely.
It's actually incredible how much hair is in that braid on the back of her head.
Oh, absolutely. Beato's eyes trembled sadly and her fingers shook, almost as though she couldn't even move her fingers as she wanted to. And was mourning the fact that she could no longer even enjoy the tea she had once loved without assistance. That was how she looked. So Battler rested his hand on Beato's, softly took hold of the teacup and lifted it to her lips. Then, though it was only a single mouthful, Beato sipped. The days in which they had been in a killing fest with red swords and blue wedges already seemed like the distant past. Now, not only was Beato unable to do that, it was even difficult for her to make her body do as she pleased. Even just drinking a mouthful of black tea like this was hard.
どうだ
How is it?
バラの匂いが素敵な紅茶だよね。
That rose aroma makes for a great black tea.
口に合うか
Do you like it? Of course, Beato didn't respond.
どうしちまったんだ
What happened to you?
これもまた作戦なんだろ
This is another strategy, right?
落ち込んでるふりをして後でバーッと驚かそうって作戦なんだろ
You're pretending to be in a slump so you can shock me later.
それが狙いならもう二度と同じ手には乗らねえからいい加減にしろ
If that's what you're after, the same trick won't work again, so give it a rest. Honestly, your actions thus far say it would work, to be honest.
Yeah. It's one of those methinks he doth protest too much moments. It is totally working.
If you keep acting like that, even I'll start to feel out of whack.
なあそろそろ引っかかったなバーカってバカ笑いしてくれよ
Hey, isn't it about time you start laughing loudly saying caught you dumbass or something?
どんなネタもあまり引っ張りすぎると笑えなくなるぞ
Any kind of joke stops being funny if you use it too much.
二番煎じなら特にな
Especially if it's a rehash.
I'll rehash you.
I also love that you're seeing shifts in expressions in her eyes. And that's all you're getting.
笑ってくれあそこで夏日おばさんとお茶を飲みながらケラケラと笑ってるみたいに
Laugh, just like you're cackling over there as you drink with Aunt Natsuhi.
せめて
Can't you at least grin?
笑うくらいはできねえのかよ
Battler, I know you're in the denial stage, but come on, man, that's kind of mean to her.
二度とないわ。その子が笑うことはもう二度と。
Kind of fucked up that like he's starting to fall in love with her now though. He's always like he's starting to like actually act like it too.
Yeah.
Never again. This child will never laugh again.
Those sudden words were exceedingly cruel.
どうして二度となんて言える
How can you say that for sure?
ベアトの笑う権利を勝手に奪うな
Quit trying to steal away Beato's right to laugh.
あら、赤で言った方がいい
No, should I say it in red then?
I shook my head furiously. Then, with an expression that didn't reveal her thoughts in the slightest, Bernkastel spoke while looking at Beato's face, and I didn't understand the words she used in the slightest.
おめでとう
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. And it wasn't even like I was trying to steal your line. I'm like, why the fuck is she using
Yeah, like
that?
that's. Why is she saying congratulations to her? Although, let's stop right here because that's really fucking funny.
Yeah,
We're
all right.
close on the 4-hour mark anyway.
Yeah, we're on the 4
That's
hour
it for
mark.
us.
So, we will catch you next time for more
On
Umineko.
a very depressing and confusing note.
Yes, we will.
We'll be back on Thursday, probably.
We will try to reach Thursday. Probably another 4-hour stream. Though we'll see.
Yep. And tomorrow I will be back with Elden Ring with Nate, assuming his ass is not sick.
Okay, so Nate is back from Canada.
Should be, yeah.
All right.
I'll poke him after the stream and make sure, but he should be.
All right. Well, under the YouTube description, if you're watching the VOD, you will find links to my Twitch as well as Cat's Twitch, as well as a shout out for Cappy.
Always shout out for Cappy.
Always.
Cappy is amazing.
Always shout out for Cappy, yes. So you can follow those links, including to Cat's Twitch, which you will find Cat's links.
Yes, which are links to my Twitter, my Discord, and my Kara. My Kara is my portfolio, where it's all my finished work and all that stuff that I'm proud to show off to the world, which hasn't been updated recently because of lots of reasons, but mostly pain and heat.
Yep.
But that should be ending soon, because at least for the next week, it will be 30 degrees or lower in Celsius. Today is only getting up to 22 degrees Celsius because of all the fucking rain. So that's really nice. I hope this stays until, next year this time. It's not going to. It'll get hotter, but,
Yeah. But
I should be able to finish fucking something soon.
Yes.
So there'll be updates there.
And at least we're approaching into the fall.
Gods, please get me out of here. Just, throw more rain and snow at my ass by the bucket full, please.
Please and thank you. Anyway, have a good night, everyone, and we will catch you next time.
Yes, join the Discord or follow me on Twitter for stream alerts.
Yes.
And if you join the Discord, you'll be able to, talk with us off stream and actually, interact with me when I'm doing my world build shit.
Yep.
That's it. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.